These African ancestors, who as part of their legacy laid the foundations for Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Greek civilization, to be with us, to strengthen us, and give us a vision for the future. We ask those African ancestors pulled out of Africa, taken to the hells of North America, South America, the Caribbean, maintaining the spirit of African humanity in their hearts and in their minds, and who left us this enormous legacy of struggle. We ask those Africans who resisted enslavement in the villages of Africa, who resisted enslavement in the shores of Africa, who resisted enslavement in those forts and dungeons, who resisted enslavement in the holds of those ships, who resisted enslavement when they arrived on these shores in the New World. We ask these Africans who ran into the highlands of northeast Brazil and established for 100 years the first free republic in the Americas, the Republic of Palmares, and their last great leader, Zumbi, whose spirit and sacrifice. We ask these Africans who replicated the Brazilian experience and went into the highlands of Jamaica and became the maroon-free communities. We ask these Africans who went into the backwoods of the Guyanas and Suriname and created free republic of the Suramaka and the Ajuka. We ask these Africans who went into the backwoods of Georgia and the swamps of Florida and moved with the Seminole Indians and resisted oppression. We ask these Africans who left us a legacy of struggle and resistance, the likes of which no one in the world has, to be with us, to strengthen us, and give us a vision for the future. We ask these Africans who created and laid for us a foundation of struggle and resistance that was passed on generation after generation, that was passed on to Harriet Tubman, who fought her way out of enslavement and became a symbol of freedom for all of us. Similarly, Frederick Douglass and hundreds of thousands of others fought their way out of enslavement. We asked those Africans who went with Boukman, Dessalines, to create the greatest revolutionary experience in the history of the world, the Haitian Revolution, leaving us a legacy, the likes of which no one else has had. We ask these Africans to be with us, to strengthen us, and give us a vision for the future.
Let us start our class with a prayer. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Friend, beloved God, Jesus Christ, Bhagavan Krishna, Mahavatar Babaji, Larima Shai, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, our Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow to all of you. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, great Gurus, receive our love, receive our desire to love you more, to attune our hearts and minds with your great presence. Om. Peace.
Speak truth to the people. To identify the enemy is to free the mind. Free the mind of the people. Speak to the mind of the people. Speak truth. Hide nothing from the masses of the people. Tell no lies. Expose lies whenever they are told. Mask no difficulties, mistakes, failures. Claim no easy victory. When we lose our African connection, we lose our world connection. When we disconnect ourselves from Africa, we cease to be a world people. Without the African connection, we are a disjointed people, begging for the entry into somebody else's house.
Reading from the Hosea, from the book of Neferti. I shall speak of what is before me. I will never foretell that which will not come. A strange bird will breed in the Delta Marsh and make its nest beside the people of Egypt. For the people will let it approach through lack of action. And afterwards, all good things will pass away. Beasts of the desert will drink at the river of Egypt and take the ease on the shores, for they will have no one to fear. The land is in turmoil, and no one knows what will come to pass. For what the future brings is hidden. And as it is said, when sight and hearing fail, and fail the many, those who cannot speak will lead. From the Hosea, the sacred wisdom of ancient Kemet. Time on Irie FM, 11 minutes after 6 o'clock. Well, let me do this quickly.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
now 11 after 6.
Easy access, chilling and brunching on the Lord. Touch of Independence, August 6th, 2026. Performing live, DJ! Musical entertainment by DJ Banker and DJ Papi. Team X, YM Entertainment. Powered by Soulville. At Shanks Ground, Prairie St. Admission $7,000 pre-sold. Food inclusive event. You must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly. Chilling and brunching on the lawn.
New York link up, London link up in association with Sizzler Youth Foundation. Proudly present Summer Bikini, all white bus trip beach party all day all night. Long Bay Beach the Grill, August 6. Featuring Sizzler Kalanji, Junior Cat Missing a J, G and Shakira. Admission 2,000. Music back in the Farrell, Lizard at Mara. Flames Million, DJ Kira was the back and me. August 6, Long Bay Beach the Grill, Summer Bikini.
Don't miss Retroology 80s 90s all white grooving on the lawn Sunday 2nd of August on the lawns behind Shaz gas station Priory St. Anne. Get your $7,000 tickets now from the following outlets in St. Anne: TK Raffine, Blingers Ocherios, St. Anne's Bay Card Centre, Father Tabor Supermarket, Brownstown and Shaz gas station, and from St. Mary, Blingers and Chicken Hut Port Maria, Mingles Cocktail Lounge, Home and Closet Essentials, Shampoo Gucci Cat and Bob's Supermarket. Part proceeds in Aid of Angels Foundation. This is a food-inclusive event.
Shuttle Bus Reese and PJ presents Lovers and Friends, Souls, R&B, and Lovers Rock. August 5th, 2026 at Harbor City Mall, Montego Bay. Gates open 8 p.m. Music by Shuttle Bus, DJ Bashment, and DJ Ray. Admission pre-sold. Ladies $2,000, male $3,000, couples $4,000, everyone $5,000 at the gate. Get your tickets now at Ultimate Male Fashion Store, Winter Village, Asani's Fashion, Hipstrip, 876 Beachwear, Weston Mabay, Pier 1, and the Fade Room, Fairview. Must be 18 years and older. Drink and live responsibly. Responsibly.
Principal Mikulski, in collaboration with Audrey Marks MP, presents Christiana Independence Gala Family Fun Day and Gospel Concert. Thursday, August 6th, Homewood Technical High School Football Field, Christiana, Manchester. Gates open 10 a.m. Showtime 7 p.m. Featuring DJ Malachi, Lloyd Antoine, Cassie Bless, Clive Warren, Chris Class, Fabian Wright, Nicole Robinson Arkins, MC Brother Palmer. Come for the attractions, competitions, lots of prizes and giveaways. Christiana Independence Gala Family Fun Day and Gospel Concert. Thursday, August 6th. Admission free.
Pay much cheaper toll rates on Transjam highways with a T-Tag until October 31st. Ready to get your T-Tag today? Good news! T-Tag packages are discounted by 50%, down to $1,250 until September 30th. The package includes $500 toll credit that you can use right away. Get your T-Tag today from any manually operated toll booth on Transjam highways or Rubis gas station on the Portmore Toll Road.
Fourteen minutes now after 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us inside of the Africa Forum. This is Running African. We are Africans. Not because we're born in Africa. We're Africans because Africa was born in us. In the words of a sergeant for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, I am African, not because I was born in Africa. I am African because Africa was born in me. Another Sunday on the island. It is Sunday, August 2, 2026. I acknowledge my ancestors upon whose shoulders I stand. I acknowledge my ancestors, the ones who came before and are still here. I acknowledge my ancestors upon whose shoulders I stand. Appearances to the mind are of four kinds. Things either are what they appear to be, or they neither are nor appear to be, or they are and do not appear to be. Rightly to aim in all these cases is a wise man's task. Appearances to the mind are of four kinds. Things either are what they appear to be, or they neither are, and yet they appear to be, or they're not, and yet appear to be. Rightly to aim in all these cases, a fumi task, a fear task, a fui task. To speak the names of our ancestors is to make them live again. Speak the names of your ancestors. When your God and your Savior look like your master and your enslaver, you become the principal agent in your destruction. All right, so we do have a whole lot to go through inside of the Africa Forum this morning, and we'll tell you about that in just a little while. Let's do this in the meantime. Take this back from the top and do this again. Trying to settle in. We're trying to settle in. Just a little bit off settling in this morning. 18 after 6 o'clock. right, our vision is to reunite the African family for development in this space. Our mission includes blazing new paths towards Africa's rendezvous with destiny, bearing witness, demanding change, being the change we want to see, understanding what it means to bear witness, crafting an African-centered agenda for change and development, all the while honoring my moral obligation to remember it is the Sunday after Emancipation Day on the island, but we're still inside of the week of emancipation and just reflecting on where we've come, what we've come through, where we've been, understanding that the promise of emancipation is still not realized. So much work to do, so much to be done. And at the same time, geopolitically, there is so much happening that we have a whole lot to get through this morning. My name is Kabu Ma'at Kiru, and we're going through until 10 o'clock. The Big A comes in at 10, working out with Peter Broadbent as usual. So we're live on the 107s. Thank you so much for joining us on the 107s, 107.1 all the way to 107.9. At the internet at IrieFM.net. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. We're streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on IG and on Facebook. Irie FM on Irie_FM, Irie FM Jam, and anywhere we are. You can also find us almost on almost all platforms, you know. Let me just tell you that. And let me say good morning to the folks, to the brothers and sisters. Kevin Nairi, good morning, my brother. I see you. But to the brothers and sisters who are ensuring that as much information as possible from this program gets out to the wider public and are resharing. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. By the way, it's raining. Not quite cats and dogs, but somewhere near that on this side of the world. So if you're on the eastern side, the northeastern side, and I suppose northern, you will be experiencing some rain. As a matter of fact, thunder and lightning. And I wonder if, remember they told us that the lights went off because of lightning, you know. And here we are again. We're having a lightning storm on this end of the island. And right, Peter? And a thunderstorm. As a matter of fact, the lights went off this morning, at one point, but not for long. And then the question is, what kind of foolishness is it? That as a little lightning strike or a little rainfall, you're going to lose electricity. Then how it go? We have questions. We have a lot of questions to ask. And I would be the first to ask JPS and the government of Jamaica some serious, very, very hard questions at 22 minutes after 6 o'clock. All right, so as I said before, we've got a lot to get through this morning. Lots happening around us, all around us. By the way, we're hearing so much about Gianni Infantino football. You see the football come back? Because interestingly enough, Infantino now get up and say him going to sell off the thing. All right, Peter, I don't know. We weren't streaming in February, right? We weren't streaming in February. Well, in February, there was a commentary I did on this program in February of this year. Let me see if I can find it. Looking at the World Liberty Forum. As a matter of fact, when I was speaking to Roger Hasfall a few weeks ago, when the World Cup was going on, we were talking to him about like racism and stuff like that. Peter, you remember? It was just a few weeks ago. I mentioned this forum. I didn't give him the name of a forum, but I told him that if you want to understand where Gianni Infantino is coming from and where his head is regarding FIFA, regarding football, regarding the World Cup, then you must understand what took place, what decisions were made at Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump. I asked Roger at the time, and I've been saying in this space, that Infantino was one of the persons who met at that Mar-a-Lago summit, which was the World Liberty Forum summit, in February, one about February 18. So I think at that time we were saying that the forum was filled to capacity and that they had over 400 senior executives, policymakers, bankers, global leaders, and one of the things that we were contemplating is why was FIFA there? And I'd asked the question in February that was Infantino there in his own capacity as Gianni Infantino as a private person or as FIFA head? But he was identified as representing FIFA. At the time, what we knew then about the forum is that it was organized by Donald Trump's sons, Eric and Donald Jr., along with the Kushners. Because World Liberty Forum is their organization, right? And this is a decentralized finance company. I'm looking at my notes from February 18, and this is what I said then. That it was inspired by President Donald Trump's vision and led by Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, the Kushners, and other co-founders. I also said then that the forum aimed to bring together leaders from finance, technology, government, sports, and media. Government, sports, and media. And that they were discussing the agenda included the future of the US dollar. This is why I was interested in the forum, because, you know, as a geopolitical analyst in this space, one of the things that I focus on is the future of the US dollar. So I just stumbled onto Gianni Infantino. I did not think it was necessary to go down no deep dive about Gianni Infantino. But I thought it was strange, so I mentioned it. Why is FIFA there? Why is Infantino there? And what did that mean? But I was looking at the future of the US dollar. I looked at the agenda, the modernization of financial infrastructure, artificial intelligence, digital assets, and decentralized finance, Americans' future role in the global economy, technocracy. These are the things, my focus, right, it's all of this. And then I'm still looking at my notes. I had added nothing new to this note. This is basically what I said on February. Round about February 18, whatever Sunday that is closest to February 18. Because I was quoting from a press release that had come to my attention. And that press release came out around February 13. So it is between February 13 and February 18 that I had this conversation. And I pointed out then that these are some of the high-profile people who were there. It's a long list, you know. Peter, let me send you something. Because it's a very long list, and what's interesting about it is that I just took out some of the people who were there. And on the list, David Solomon from Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Franklin Templeton, these are the representatives of the institutions and banks and so on, NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange. These are the people who are at Mar-a-Lago, FIFA. And I remember I stopped and said, FIFA, why is FIFA there? Coinbase, Kevin O'Leary, U.S. Senators Ashley Moody and Bernie Moreno, senior officials from the U.S. government and financial regulators. And then these sessions included keynote speeches, fireside chats, and panel discussions. And the panel discussions focused on artificial intelligence, 24/7 financial markets, stablecoins and digital currencies, public-private partnerships. This is another thing, public-private partnership, because you know too that is part of my focus, looking at neoliberalism. The convergence of traditional finance and blockchain technology. This was discussed at the February 18 Mar-a-Lago Financial Summit, the World Liberty Summit. It reached full capacity. Now, you have to understand that. I think we have to understand that to understand where the FIFA sale to these very same people who were in the room in Mar-a-Lago came from. One of the things that I like to say, yes, I'd like to say, I'm going to say it anyway, is that as journalists, we're going to have to rethink our journalism, right? Because the old way of doing things is to say that you're a news journalist, you're a hard news journalist, or you're a soft news journalist, or you're an entertainment news journalist, you're a sports journalist, or you're an environmental journalist, or you're an economic journalist. This is the old way of doing things. We're talking about, one of the discussions now is the future of radio and how radio will or will not survive as the convergence of the digital technologies has led to a whole other kind of journalism. And now artificial intelligence or anti-intelligence is even making this a whole different space. So we cannot, if radio is going to survive, apart from the fact that we're going to have to rethink and reimagine what that would look like, and we should have been doing that already. I'm talking radio generally. But we also, journalists, actors within the media industry are going to have to rethink the way we journalists, right? Which is to say that we have to be multifaceted. Within the one person is the Peter, right? Which is to say, understanding all of the digital technologies, doing what Peter is doing here, and then some. So it is a Peter, it is a me, it is the hard news, soft news, entertainment. This must be embodied in the one person. It sounds away, but we've been there a long time ago, because we've been there since, say, at least 2003, because the convergence of the digital technologies dictated that journalism had to be more than we ever were, which is to say the journalists had to be able to do everything. And one of the things I know, for example, on the international, in the international media industry, the global media industry, journalism school no longer, divides itself into television journalism, radio journalism, press journalism. That they've been internationally in the developed countries. They did away with that a long, long time ago. So that when you go in as a student, you are a journalist who knows everything. Television broadcast journalism, online journalism, social media, press, what is called press, which is newspaper, you don't even do press journalism anymore. We just use the word now meaning anything. So that the one journalist is trained in everything. And if you're not trained in that way as you go into university, then you must, once you go into the media industry to work, train or not train, because you really don't have to be trained in a university to be a good journalist. As a matter of fact, if somebody tells me they're going to university to study journalism. As somebody who's gone down that road, I'll tell you, do not do that. Try and find a media house or create your own and do your own journalism. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but it is what it is. I have to take a break. But the point I'm making about that, you see, is to say, the minute Gianni Infantino walked into Mar-a-Lago, it became the purview of a sports journalist. But although that was out there, and although that was widely covered, because geopolitical analysts were covering this, and they were just mentioning, by the way, what is Infantino doing there? I did it. As a matter of fact, I think I'm the only person in the entire island of Jamaica to carry this story. That at Mar-a-Lago, they had a conference, and it was a financial conference, and decisions were made at that conference, and Gianni Infantino was there. The thing that bothered me is that Infantino was there. There are other people who bothered me, but he's the one that seemed to be the odd man out. And I've continued to say this because that decision that he came out with, and the people who are involved, all of them were in that room. Every single one of them were at the Liberty Forum. Every one of them. And this happened in February. So this decision, remember, Infantino did not make this announcement, you know. Infantino did not announce this. What happened is that a journalist broke the story. And sooner or later, a journalist would have broke the story, because the minute you see Infantino there has to be another thing to it. And all you had to do was to ask around, and that would have been easy. So I'm just going to reiterate to say that even for parents who are listening and for students who are listening or thinking of entering journalism, no matter what they tell you at any university, whether it's here on the island or in Jamaica or globally, if you're going to study journalism and they begin to split it, if they say radio, TV, online, social media, press, PR, marketing, no, you need to do all of it. Do not split it. You need to do all of it. Hard news, soft news, the whole thing. It is one. All of it is just one person now. And the one person is also operating the camera. And that is why so many of our Jamaicans, because my journalism is now, let me take a break. My journalism is now the brethren them, the youth them, who on TikTok, who they're everywhere with them camera, live. And if it happens, they're there live and then broadcast hours until if it top up the screen. But they're carrying the news. And they're not doing it in English. They're doing it in Jamaican language. But they are breaking more news stories than the legacy media. I'll take a break.
Stay cool this summer with the new Panasonic AC from ATL. The time by ATL and Panasonic is
now 6:36.
Get a T-Tag and lock in your toll rates for the next 90 days. Effective Saturday, August 1st, 2026. There will be some changes to the toll rates at the Portmore, Spanish Town, Vineyards, Maypen, Tollgate Mainline, and Tollgate Ramp toll plazas. But with a T-Tag, your rates will remain unchanged until October 31, 2026. Plus, all Class 1 and Class 2 T-Tag customers will get their 10th weekly trip through the same toll plaza free. Visit transjamhighways.com for the upcoming rate changes. Don't pay more at the toll booths. Get your T-Tag today from any manually operated toll booth on Transjam Highways.
New York link up, London link up in association with Sizzla Youth Foundation. Proudly present Summer Bikini, all white bus trip beach party all day, all night. Long Bay Beach, the grill, August 6. Featuring Sizzla Kalanji, Junior Cat, Missing a J, G and Shakira. Admission 2000. Music back in the Farrell, Lizard at Mara. Flames Million, DJ Kira was the back on me. August 6, Long Bay Beach, the grill, Summer Bikini.
Bounce out family fun day, yeah. And football carnival, it's gonna be lit, yeah.
Get something 10 a.m. It's Bounce Out Family Fun Day and Football Carnival. Prep and primary schools, high schools, regular ballers. Over $1 million in cash and prizes. 30 plus rides for the kids. Independence Day, August 6th. Jackson Sports Complex, St. Anne. Music by DJ Smurf. Showtime 7 p.m. Performance by Deep Chai. Admission 1,500 pre-sold, 2.5 at the gate. Kids under 12 free. Ticket outlets, Great House Pharmacy, Ocho Rios, Total Gas Station, St. Anne's Bay. Eyeglass Factory, St. Anne's Bay, Ocho Rios Class.
Gone back to the 80s.
This Sunday, August 2, the vibes are going all white at Retrology. The Retro All White Party takes over Paris St. Anne, and guess who's bringing you all the action? Irie FM will be broadcasting live from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Get ready for a night of timeless classics, unforgettable vibes, and the ultimate retro experience.
Any 90s people in our place?
Dress in your best all white, gather your crew, and come party with the station that keeps Jamaica rocking.
Irie FM really rocking, you know.
If you can't make it, don't worry. We're bringing the excitement straight to your radio. That's live links from Retrology, the all-white party, Sunday, August 2, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Shaz in Paris St. Anne.
Down at Shaz, we got a car full of girls and it going real slow. And Retrology, you know we gotta go.
From the creators of Money Fridays, we introduce to you another radio first. Grab back.
Stay locked into Irie FM on the 107 this and every Monday in the wake-up call for Grab Bag, and you could win up to $50,000 cash weekly plus other prizes.
All you have to do is call Irie FM when you hear it's Grab Bag time. Tell the announcer which bag to dip into, and what comes up is yours, just like that.
It could be a gift from a sponsor. It could be $10,000. It could be $30,000. It could be a whopping $50,000. Or it could be, sorry, try again.
But if you don't have a representing hand in the bag, you don't have a chance.
Grab Bag is brought to you courtesy of
Tiles R Us Limited, Banners Valley, St. Elizabeth. Tiles R Us.
Pay much cheaper toll rates on Transjam highways with a T-Tag until October 31st. Ready to get your T-Tag today? Good news! T-Tag packages are discounted by 50%, down to $1,250 until September 30th. The package includes $500 toll credit that you can use right away. Get your T-Tag today from any manually operated toll booth on Transjam highways or Rubis gas station on the Portmore Toll Road.
Pod Restaurant and Bar presents Raw Souls Sundays, the post-emancipation and pre-independence souls party with a difference. Place to be this Sunday, August 2nd, 2026 is 61 King Street, Linton, St. Catherine. Musical orgasm by DJ Pops, hosted by yours truly, Lady Timry. Admission, wear Jamaican colors. Lots of prizes and surprises. Complimentary champagne and rolls for the first 30 females. Best dressed female wins a pair of bridges. $200 US for best dressed couple. Pod Raw Souls Sundays is the place to be. Don't forget, the word is love.
When we lose our African connection, we lose our world connection. When we disconnect ourselves from Africa, we cease to be a world people. Without the African connection, we are a disjointed people, begging for the entry into somebody else's house.
Nkanunte manyaku follow dasa manoro kansamba Nkanunte manyaku follow dasa manoro kansamba Daso modima mimfente kora yulo wole bengilikan.
So many messages on the discussion, the conversation I had just right now, right? About journalism and the study of journalism and so on. Well, you know, I've been working in the industry all my life, and this is my understanding as I grow in the industry. That is to say, journalism has changed from the days of the 90s. I started in the 80s. I started in high school. And it has changed, and it's also up to us to change it, because if we don't take control of a change, you know what's going to happen? It's going to change for us, and this is why legacy media is dying, because a change is happening around legacy media, and legacy media is not aware of it. So that is our problem, you know. Right, so here we are, doing our thing. We're going to be talking later on to a very special guest who's writing me, and I'm I'm texting back. He's in Ghana. So I'm just texting back. All right, because he just texted to say a few minutes to go. And I said, yeah, looking forward. All right, so my brother Kofi at Kakra will be on the phone lines with me shortly. All right. Good morning, Darby Dobson. Thank you so much, my brother. Good morning, Andrew Lumsden. Thank you so much. Good morning, Queen Mother Yefine. I'm seeing you. Thank you so much. All right. Today we stand in the interregnum between emancipation and independence. That is it, you know, Peter. Between emancipation and independence. It work for you? Because you asked for, we don't have no topic. Between emancipation and independence. That work? That because we're on air, you know, eh? Suppose I put an exclamation sign after independence. Temporary. Okay, between emancipation and independence. But the promise of emancipation is still not realized, and true independence is yet to be attained. The impediment, you like it? Oh, that's what you prefer, that one? Okay. All right. The promise of, you know, this is that's why I'm telling you the journalism work, you know. See that? So the promise of emancipation is not yet realized. For those of us who are watching on YouTube, Facebook, and IG, you'll soon get a very good idea why me and Peter are doing what we're doing on air. And we're saying that there are impediments to bridging the gap, right, between emancipation and independence. And two salient milestones since 1838 or 1834 until today is that there is maladaptation into a Stockholm syndrome. So this is basically where we are. It's funny that as a nation and as a people, this Stockholm syndrome has taken a hold of, you sure you know what Stockholm syndrome? Emancipation or Stockholm syndrome? No, not emancipation. Independence or Stockholm syndrome? Oh, goodness, let me take a break.
Pay Uncle $1 down per 18 to 48 months credit over Lucky Dollar for furniture, appliance, and smart TVs. The time by Lucky Dollar is
now 6:46. All right, so that there's a maladaptation into this Stockholm syndrome that we're talking about, right? And this has resulted in this kind of comfortable confinement that we put ourselves in the constitutional monarchy kind of, or monarchical system of our enslavers. Right now, there is, as we celebrate 188 years since emancipation and 64 years since independence, nominal independence, so-called independence. We have no independence, by the way. Well, there's a little independence, but independence in terms of how we're looking at it, no. The celebration of independence, no. So that we find ourselves on the eve of independence discussing or making an announcement that the Jamaican government, using taxpayers' money, is heading into England to Charles III, head of the monarchy, descendant of the enslavers. Very near descendant to, not far. Because all you have to do is to go back to two monarchs, two of Charles' people, to find the extent of how Britain was involved in slavery and how the monarchy itself, we had that discussion a few weeks ago, involved in slavery. So Jamaica finds itself now making this decision to go to England to petition Charles. This is a plan. It's a plot. They're about to do this because not enough of us are concerned about it. I have been disinvited from everything that they invited me to. Listen, I've been doing, every time it comes to this time of the year, for the last 36 years, Irie FM is 36 years old, yesterday, 36 years old. We started broadcasting in July, but formally entered the media industry in August, on August 1. And I have been working, not paid, because I've never accepted any money to do an emancipation or Emancipation Week activities, August morning all the way down. And this year, the tribalism, political tribalism, is so pervasive that a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say contracted, but without money, to do, I've been disinvited from. And the reason they gave, and the reason they continue to give, is my truth. If I can come or go without speaking truth to power, then it's on. But I have to guarantee that I won't speak truth to power. So I've been disinvited. That's all right. That's all right. As a majority black African population here on the island, we find ourselves by proxy in the abominable and shameful betrayal of our ancestors. And we're being misguided by ignoble administrations. And this has been going on for almost 7 decades. This is basically where we find ourselves. Now is the opportune time for a great reset of the African mind. The great reset is happening at Davos. The rules-based order is ruptured. The great reset is happening at the World Economic Forum. It is happening everywhere around us. And yet, as African people in the diaspora and continental Africa, except for the Sahel, and I see some movements in Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Botswana, that we are not necessarily cognizant, or so it would appear, that we ourselves have to reset the African mind. And to what end? Lest that which the ancestors foretold come to pass. Irrecusable re-enslavement of our African selves. It is possible. And extinction. It is possible. Because we're so close to Agenda 2030. We're so close. And the plans are well underway. That we must be awakened. We cannot sleep anymore. We have to free our African minds today, from now on. This is basically where the African mindset, a new African mindset, must reshape our world. We are in a state of confusion. Misquoting Osagyefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, in resetting the African mind, reshaping the African mind, shifting our paradigm, a reset of the African mind. Resetting the African mind? Look here now, you see, we never have a topic, and now we have plenty. All right, so this is basically where we are. Just before we go into another break and go to my next guest, these are the books we have for today because of the time, right? Daddy Sharp, A Narrative of the Life and Adventures of Samuel Sharp, a West Indian we don't say slave anymore, but that's what the book said. A West Indian Slave, written by himself, 1832, by Fred Kennedy. So this is it. That is Sharp. Right? Baba Sam Sharp. We also have, what I'm going to do as of now, as of next week, is to send the books to Peter before, so you can put them on the screen. All right, so we have Slaves Who Abolished Slavery, Blacks in Rebellion by Richard Hart. By the way, last week I mentioned In Miserable Slavery, Thomas Thistlewood in Jamaica, 1750 to 86. This is a book when I talked about what Thomas Thistlewood did in Jamaica. Have another one enslaved African defecating in the mouth of another enslaved African and wiring it shut, calling it Dolly's portion or something to that effect. So you can see that I have been very busy making notes. I've read this one from back to front many times. All right, I've read them all actually. So that too. Oh yeah, so we also have Taki's Revolt. It's Chief Tetchi, right? We come from Tetchiman. We must return to Tetchiman. But it says Taki here. Taki's Revolt, The Story of an Atlantic Slave War by Vincent Brown. This is also a very, very good book to read, by the way. Get your copies. So I'm resting them here. You'll be able to still see, right, what they are. We can see them, Peter. And then In Miserable Slavery, Thomas Thistlewood. Okay, so these are the books that we have for today. I have a lot of things to talk about, Yesterday all day, and Peter, I sent you a barrage of things last night because it seems as if there was going to be a war. It seems as if we would be waking up this morning to heavy bombing in Iran, and there were announcements. I think those announcements are still in place, though. The warnings for U.S. citizens to get out of Egypt, U.S. citizens to get out, to caution to U.S. citizens in Egypt, in the so-called Middle East, in Bahrain, in Kuwait, in Dubai. So those warnings came out as a flurry just yesterday evening, round about just 6, 7, and then by the time I think it was about 11 o'clock, I checked again to see what was happening, or 12, and before morning though, we saw where Donald Trump was saying that there was some agreement with Iran and they're going to open the Strait of Hormuz. We're not seeing anything from Iran up to this point, so I'm going to. Trump says that he has canceled planned attacks on Iran, subject to being able to rapidly make a deal. He claims Iran and other countries in the Middle East had asked him to hold off any attacks, and that the parameters of a deal has been agreed on, including on the opening of a Strait of Hormuz. Well, let's see what happens by the end of the day. So basically, that's what we're looking at now. But in any case, those flurry of information came out just, when was it? Last night, around about 7 o'clock. All right. You know, when we talked about Gianni Infantino just now, and the whole sports thing, but it's an interesting situation because there's a relationship between Infantino and Morocco, for example, and this is once again my own interest in geopolitics, why I'm noticing that Infantino is running up and down in Morocco and all of that. But the nexus, right? Infantino, Morocco, or say FIFA, Morocco, Israel, and the United States. An unholy alliance. Morocco is interesting because Morocco, the Western Sahara, there's another thing, is that one of the topics that we have discussed and continue to discuss in this space is who owns Western Sahara. So there's a fight between Algeria and Morocco. Remember, we talked about when we were talking to Prime Eye just the other day, but it's something we talk about a lot in this space, that one of the things we're seeing happening in the Sahel, the attack on the Sahel, and Algeria taking the side of whoever they're taking the side with, and we asked Prime Eye, then the journalist from Ghana, whether or not he thought that Algeria was involved in this in the background. And he said, well, that is what everybody's saying. That's a reporting in West Africa. That's a reporting in North Africa. That's a reporting everywhere. And it has to do with the fight between Morocco and Algeria. So it's a claim on the Western Sahara. Now, Donald Trump has come out and has said that he sides with Morocco on Western Sahara, and Morocco has also built a highway. Can we get to the highway, Peter? So Morocco has built a highway. From Morocco, and it goes all the way to the Sahel. Now, take note. I'm going to come back to this later on in the program. Take very good note that it goes from Morocco into the Western Sahara. Also, if you're watching what's happening with so-called migrants who are leaving from Morocco to go to Spain in their hundreds, they're not going to Spain. It's not Spain they're going to. The reporting is wrong, left, right, and center. That piece of land and that area where they're saying Africans are crossing the border into Spain, and it's not, and Arabs are crossing the border. It's not Spain. It's Africa. Quetta, what's its name? It's in Africa. It was colonized by Spain. It is like saying Jamaicans are moving from or crossing the border between St. Mary and Portland, but Portland is owned by Britain. And so you do not say it is Portland in Jamaica, you say it is Britain. That's basically what's happening. So that the barrage, the many people that you see on screen where they're saying they're heading to Spain, they're heading to no Spain. These people are still in Africa. Okay. I want to go to my next guest. Before I do that, let me take a break. You're inside of the Africa Forum. The microphone is so far away. All right. You're inside of the Africa Forum. This is Running African. 1992 to 2019 and beyond. A quick break. Let me take a quick break. Yes, thanks.
Church members in Jamaica, we've got a plan just for you. Protect yourself with life, critical illness, and hospital indemnity coverage through Sagicor ChurchMate Plus. Sign up today. The time by Sagicor Life is
now 2 minutes after 7 o'clock. 2 minutes after 7 o'clock, you're inside of the Africa Forum. It is Running African. Thank you so much, Peter. Peter, that is too far away from me, you know. Thank you. But if you do that, I won't be able to do the board. All right, thanks. All right. Okay, so things are getting just a little bit closer. Thank you, Peter, for helping us to fix all of what's happening around us as we go to our very, very special guest. I'll tell you a little bit about him as he comes on. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on the internet at irefm.net, on the 107s. Thank you for joining us on YouTube, Facebook, IG. By the way, we're also on Flow Channel 822. We're on DigiPlay. We're everywhere that you can find radio and TV. We're there. All right. My next very special guest is my brother, Kofi Atta Kakrakusi. He's currently the Deputy Director in charge of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority. Brother Kusi is a Pan-Africanist. He's a writer, cultural activist, public relations and marketing practitioner. And he will tell you much more about him as we go on. Inside of the program, he has a secondary school education at Prempeh College in Kumasi. By the way, you know, Kumasi means a lot to us in this space. He proceeded then to the Methodist University, or the University of Ghana, Legon, Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy. Then the Ghana Institute of Journalism, now the GIJ, and then the GIJ, now UNIMAC. GIJ to pursue a first Masters of Arts degree, MA in Public Relations, and MA PR in 2020. He went on after that to the Methodist University College, Ghana, where he pursued a second master's degree in marketing, an MBA in marketing in 2022. He holds a certificate in tourism and hospitality management from the University of Johannesburg, South Africa. He was at the Jimpa Law School in 2014 for 1 year. You know, so me and him sound very much alike, but he did not complete his... you know what? This is phenomenal. He did not complete his course of study because he had to travel for an equally important endeavor. That is what I said to, you know, Kofi when I dropped out of law school. I had to travel for a very important endeavor. To Barbados. Look here, let me go to Kofi, right? My brother Kofi, how are you?
Yes, I'm more Kabu. Kabu, how are you too?
I am well. If you two are well, my brother, we are following the very same course. It's as if I taught you. I told you how to do things. We are on the very same path. I'm telling you. So, you also served as a special assistant.
Absolutely.
You also served as a special assistant to the then late CEO of the authority, that's Mr. Charles Osei Bonsu, from 2014 to 2017. And Kofi has also served as a deputy head of corporate affairs from January 2018 to January 2024, before being appointed as a deputy director of domestic marketing in 2024. We're very happy to have you online with us, Kofi. You're live also on YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you are on IG. All right.
Thank you.
Kofi, 1992.
Thank you.
I want to start at 1992. We could start before, but I think the Ghana-Jamaica relations really hit a very, very high point in 92, and then an even higher point in 97, 98. So 92 was the first Panafest. I don't know if you were born yet.
Yeah.
But walk us through, if you can, the delegation to Panafest in 92. It was a very small delegation. It included myself, Sister P, Pauline Petronor, Lord Anthony Gifford, Eileen Thomas Gifford, Lady Gifford, and Siberia, who is Sister P's daughter, Siberia Gordon, and I think that's it. I think that might be, Sheba, who is now part of the reparations movement here in Jamaica, I'm noticing. So that was the delegation, a very, very small delegation that went to Ghana in 92. Tell us about 92. What happened in Ghana in 92, and how impactful was that year?
Good, Kabu. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate the introduction. Of course, I learned from you. I learned from you when we had to travel for equally important national assignments.
Yes. It happens to the best of us, you know.
Very well, Kabu. Very
Yes.
well. Very well. Let me kindly and respectfully give a big greetings to your audience. I greet everybody in Jamaica and Ghana and Jamaica. We share a very wonderful experience. We have a good relationship running. And let me put this across that our president is expected to be in Jamaica, and then he'll be with the University of the West Indies and the leadership of your prime minister, because he will be hosted by your prime minister on Monday, August 3rd. So he will be there for a
Yes.
special high-level reparative dialogue
Yes.
on reparation. Yeah. So
When is
so
he
that
coming?
is
Is he
something I
coming
really.
in? Is he coming in today? I think he's coming
Yes,
in
he's coming
this
in.
evening. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
well,
He's coming in. So the whole issue of reparations, of course, ties into Panafest and emancipation. So, like
yes.
it is a good time in that we are having these conversations. Thank you very much, Kabu.
As a matter of
Thank you.
fact, I think right after we speak with you, we're going to be speaking with H.E. Kofi Attor, who is the Ghanaian lawyer, former parliamentarian, and Ghana's ambassador to Cuba. So he's on this
Great,
morning. He's on this morning also because he's already on the island. We're looking
great,
forward to talking to him at 8
great.
o'clock.
Thank you, Kabu.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Kabu.
Yes.
Kabu, just like you asked, I bring you greetings also from the government of Ghana. My godfather, Professor Kujoyanka, Honorable Kujoyanka, and then also our Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, and also our Chief Executive, of course, from the stakeholders in Ghana. Kabu, there is 1992 was very interesting. Let me say that was the first Pan-African Historical Theatre Festival, Panafest 92. It was held in Cape Coast and in Accra, right? From the 12th to the 19th of December 1992. But it was under the theme Re-Emergence of African Civilization. Personally, I was very happy that people like yourself were here with us. Of course, the main organizers and supporters were the National Commission on Culture, the Tourism Development Board, the International Theatre Institute Ghana Center, the University of Cape Coast, the Organization of African Unity, that is the OAU.
I think we have lost. It's the pictures, not the video. Sorry, 'cause this
and
is
the United
98.
States
You're showing.
Information Services.
So on the screen, I'm interrupting. Sorry, we're looking at 98 when we brought back our ancestors. The pictures by email. Those are the ones I'm talking to my colleague in studio, because we do have pictures from 1992.
Wow.
Of the Jamaican delegation there. We lost you for a minute.
Wow.
So and that's why I started talking, because you kind of chipped out for a minute. So continue, my brother.
Yes, please. Thank you. So Panafest 92 saw the participation of different national groups. There were different national groups, independent theater companies, musical groups, artists, intellectuals, and also a host of cultural activists and tourists from different parts of the Pan-African world and beyond. Like it is, let me say that the performing groups and individuals included, of course, the Batirana Theatre Company of Zimbabwe. You do remember? If you
I do remember
that day.
I do remember. Yes.
Then we also had the Jaliba Kuyate and the Artistic Ensemble of the Gambia. You remember them very well?
I do remember. I was there as a young journalist covering the entire thing.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And then Ajido Pan-African Dance Ensemble from the United Kingdom. Others also included Public Enemy, Steve Wonder, Isaac Hayes, all from the United States of America.
That's the point.
One of the biggest was Rita Marley. Rita Marley and Gregor Isaac and reggae band from Jamaica. That was one of the mind-blowing time that we had them for the festival in Ghana.
Massive festival in the stadium. It was in the stadium. Massive festival.
Very massive.
Yes.
Very massive.
Yeah.
And that was when Ghana and then also Jamaica had that wonderful relationship. But of course, we had some Ghanaian participants, including Rascalib Apia Levite. You remember him?
Of course, yes.
And his Ethiopian Idris band. They opened the live concert at the Independence Square on the 18th of December, performing for 35 minutes. Of course, we had also Kente. You remember Kente, the reggae band?
Ah, I'm not remembering the reggae band. Interestingly enough. Goodness. Why am I not remembering the reggae band?
Yes, then also we had the Ghana Dance Ensemble, Ebibi Groma. We have the Pan-African Orchestra led by Nana Danso Abiam, Nana Kwame Ampedu, Marriott International Band, Ben Bracco. We had Kojo Entry, we had Wulome, we had Joe Mensa, we had Keke Kabobo, we had Grace Omabo, Pozo Hayes, G-Man, Amati Dede, we had David Kwamina Bolton, we had Joel Aqua, we had Asabia Cropper, and then also we had even Kente Man. So it was a very wonderful time at the time. But of course, events were held simultaneously in these two cities, that is Cape Coast Castle, the University of Cape Coast, the Accra International Conference Center, and the Independence Square in Accra.
Yes.
Of course, there were a lot of tour programs that were put together, and these tour programs had a lot to offer because they visited a lot of the tourist sites and attractions across the country.
Yes.
In doing that, let me give you a little overview of Panafest. You see, Kabu, the Panafest Festival was inspired by, and it takes its source from a paper written in 1980 entitled Proposal for a Historical Drama Festival in Cape Coast by Dr. Mrs. Effa Sutherland.
Yes.
Right? Now, what happened was that Dr. Mrs. Effa Sutherland was a distinguished Ghanaian dramatist and Pan-Africanist. In 1991, the idea gained root and took shape in an expanded form as the Pan-African Historical Theatre Festival. Then we went into 1992. So since its inception in 1992, Panafest has become a movement after 14 editions over the past 30 years, that is 1992 to 2022, to not just Ghana's cultural heritage tourism industry, and also to people of African descent throughout Africa and the African diaspora, especially the Americas. But of course, with the shared historical past and reconciling the future through arts and culture, as well as workshops. There were a lot of workshops, seminars, and specialized programming that took place.
Yes.
Let me also throw the light that in October of 1992, Panafest was officially launched, and in December of the same year, the national phase of the festival was held in Cape Coast. After a series of activities which included a national playwriting competition. But of course, it was organized also concurrently with seminars and workshops on Pan-Africanism across the country, that is in Ghana.
Yeah, and this is where a seed was planted for us, because in 92, this radio station, national global radio station, took the decision on the request of Lady Eileen Thomas Gifford at the time, and if you're looking on the screen just now, just before they speak, you would see her leading the Jamaican delegation, along with her then husband, Lord Anthony Gifford. They're holding the banner aloft. We were right there, Sister P, Sabira, myself, right there. And Sheba. And Sheba was a baby. Sabira was a baby. But we were there for that, and it is that seed that was planted. So this station, Irie FM, took the decision at that very Panafest to support all Panafest, and Irie FM has been that vehicle since that to cover every single Panafest to this day. We're there every year. I'm there most of the year. I think Pat Clark went 1 year. Sonia Sims went 1 year because we were traveling for other business.
Absolutely.
but this is to say that the heightened relationship between Ghana and Jamaica took root at that point because we had a leading radio station in Jamaica broadcasting back from Ghana by analog phone. We were using analog phone, the one you put your finger in and you take it around. We were broadcasting live. We called into a studio, and every person who sat with us spoke into that phone. And so this is how, and this was the first time we had a live broadcast from the continent of Africa back into Jamaica, and we've been doing it at every Panafest since then. How important was 92 to the relationship that we see? Because the call made at the colloquium that year by Lady Eileen Thomas Gifford and Pauline Pettinard, Sister P, the call made was for the right to return. That call was made from the stage. How important was 92 to where we are today? And if you take us through the years, because every 2 years, I think, there's a Panafest, because 92, then it was 94, and then I know 97 was a big year. We're going to talk about 97 and 98. 97 because Flight Lieutenant General Jerry Rawlins came into Jamaica 97, and 98, we were back in Ghana. So take us through 94 and 96.
Good. Thank you. So, you see, one thing I want us to understand is that Ghana-Jamaica relationship really intensified right from 92. In 94, you would realize that we had a lot of diasporans coming from the Caribbean, especially Jamaica, into Ghana. Now, as they came into Ghana, what happened was that, our heightened relationship was when Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlins, the president at the time, got involved with the Pan-African movement, right? And you would realize that we started with something we call the Joseph Project, right? These were projects that brought a lot of a relationship between Ghana and Jamaica. In 92, like it is, we had the emergence of African civilization. In all that, what happened was that the setting for Panafest, like it is, which took place every 2 years, and emancipation from up till now, we are still celebrating emancipation every year. Even just last week, we had some series of activities that took place for emancipation. So you would realize that we had some slaves that were brought from Jamaica and then the United Kingdom. We had the cousin and then also one other, which of course, looking at the time when we had to entrench the fact, the reason why we need to have a conversation on why Africans do not need to be enslaved. So all these came up in such a way that we as a people decided that we needed to have that freedom. And in having that freedom, we needed to also put in place the needed mechanisms and also to be able to bring in more of our people of African descent, foreigners, and also tourists to bring in so that they can also contribute to the various economies. So
can you hold the line for me? I do have to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with much more. We're talking about the Ghana-Jamaica relations and talking about how grassroots people, starting with what was a Black Star liner, the first trip to go there in 2019, massive trip because it was 5 of us, to go into Ghana. This was new, this was novel. It was in 1992 when Eileen Thomas Gifford, Lord Anthony Gifford, Sister P, myself, Sabira, and Sheba made it to Ghana as a first members of the first delegation to Panafest, and here we are today. That was grassroots. We take a quick break.
Principal Mikulski, in collaboration with Audrey Marks MP, presents Christiana Independence Gala Family Fun Day and Gospel Concert. Thursday, August 6th, home with Technical High School Football Field, Christiana, Manchester. Gates open 10 a.m. Showtime 7 p.m. Featuring DJ Malachi, Lloyd Antoine, Gassy Bless, Clive Warren, Chris Class, Fabian Wright, Nicole Robinson Arkins, MC Brother Palmer. Come for the attractions, competitions, lots of prizes and giveaways. Christiana Independence Gala Family Fun Day and Gospel Concert. Thursday, August 6th. Admission free.
Shuttlebus Reese and PJ presents Lovers and Friends, Souls, R&B, and Lovers Rock. August 5th, 2026 at Harbor City Mall, Montego Bay. Gates open 8 p.m. Music by Shuttlebus, Steely Bashment, and DJ Ray. Admission pre-sold. Ladies $2,000, male $3,000, couples $4,000, everyone $5,000 at the gate. Get your tickets now at Ultimate Male Fashion Store, Winter Village, Asani's Fashion, Hipstrip, 876 Beachwear, Weston Mabay, Pier 1, and the Fade Room, Fairview. Must be 18 years and older. Drink and live responsibly.
Milk and Honey open the gates of the Pink Palace on Saturday, August 8 at your best weekend ever. Let the dance floor be your runway as you dress fashionably chic in pink at Plantation Cove St. Anne for this premium cuisine inclusive event. Admission $15,000 pre-sold. Dress code enforced. Get your best weekend ever armbands at yourbestweekendever.com. Sponsored by Don Julio, Smirnoff, Johnny Walker, Rumstrike, Casamigos and Jamaica Tourist Board. Must be 18 years and older. Drink and live responsibly. ID required.
Don't miss Retroology 80s, 90s, all right, grooving on the lawn. Sunday, 2nd of August, on the lawns behind Shaz Gas Station, Priory, St. Anne. Get your $7,000 tickets now from the following outlets in St. Anne: TK Raffine, Blingers Ocherios, St. Anne's Bay Card Centre, Father Chambers Supermarket, Brownstown, and Shaz Gas Station. And from St. Mary, Blingers and Chicken Hut, Port Maria, Mingles Cocktail Lounge, Home and Closet Essentials, Shampoo Gucci Cat, and Bob's Supermarket. Part proceeds in Aid of Angels Foundation. This is a food inclusive event.
All right. 24 after 7 o'clock. We're back with you inside of the Africa Forum. This is Running African from Panafest 1992 to the year of return 2019, reuniting the African family for development. Now, this program, the Africa Forum, we have a tagline. And we do have our vision statement and we have our mission. And our vision statement since 1992 has been the Running African, first of all, reuniting the African family for development. We took that from Panafest, 1992. And the minute we came back into this space, we understood what our mission was in this process. On the phone lines, the Deputy Director in charge of Corporate Affairs at Ghana Tourism Authority, my brother Kofi Atta Kakra Kusi. Kofi, there is embedded in Panafest, embedded in the Ghana-Africa relations, in the Ghana-African diaspora relations, driven by those of us who went to Ghana in 1992. As we entered Ghana, the flight I took, Ghana Airways, on the flight, that flight was massive, right? Hundreds.
Right.
And on that flight, almost everybody was going to Panafest 1992. The British Council, British government representative, British Pan-African representatives, and just all of us who came from different parts of the Caribbean who boarded that flight in London were heading to Britain. I didn't travel with the delegation from Jamaica. I think the delegation from Jamaica, Sister P, Lady Eileen Thomas Gifford, Lord Gifford, Sabira, and Sheba, they might have gone through the U.S. That's my recollection. Sister P can tell me otherwise. But we called, Lady Gifford at the time named our delegation the Black Star Liner. The Black Star Liner, in the same way that Assaja for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who was motivated, encouraged, and impacted by Molimu Marcus Messiah Garvey, hence the Black Star in the Ghana flag. We understood that at that level, and those of us who were traveling to Ghana at the time understood our mission. When we came back, we understood further what we had to do, which was to reunite the African family for development. To what extent are we achieving the ideals and the mandate of Panafest 92, 94, 97, 98, which was and which still remains to reunite the African family, not just for social things, but for development? Did we lose Kofi? All right, we're seeing you on the screen, Kofi. All right, I think we've lost you for a minute, Brother Kofi Atta Kakra Kusi. All right, what should we do?
Good, thank you.
Oh, yes, we're hearing you now. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, just hearing you, Kofi.
Yes, please. Yeah. Good. So, yes, please, Kabu. So, Kabu, you would realize that since 1992 up until now, up until the times that we've been having Panafest biannually, and then also Emancipation Day each year, what has been achieved, one thing I would say is that with the development that we expected to have, I would say that yes, we've been able to achieve a whole lot. That comes with the fact that we as a people are virtually, gradually also forging forward together as one people. Why do I say this? You would realize that there had been a lot of financial remittances that have increased. Now, if you look at previous times, 2025, for example, $7.8 billion in remittances, of course, has been sent home by Ghanaians abroad. And I'm sure that it would also be the same for people in the Caribbean, for example, in Jamaica, right? So you would realize that remittances abroad, of course, have also increased, and it is also going to impact on the local economy. These are some of the developments that obviously, I would say that obviously, and then also this, if you realize, you would realize also that the remittances are even bigger than FDIs. Like the remittances in 2025 were nearly $7.8 billion, significantly exceeding foreign direct investment. So with that, we could confidently say that, of course, we have been able to get somewhere with with making sure that at least our remittances increase. And then also when it comes to development within our various economies, you would in Ghana, for example, we have a lot of diasporans, people of African descent, doing a lot. They have built a lot of schools. They have built a lot of health facilities. They have built a lot of educational facilities, libraries, boreholes, and then also having influence in government, right? So with us, there is a lot that have accrued to the country, and also obviously, like it is to both economies. I would also say that looking at the fact that there have been goodwill on our part, and our presidents, our governments dealing with each other. Of course, there've been support in several ways. For example, in recent times when you had the issue of, was it typhoon or something of that sort? You see, Ghana came in immediately to be able to salvage the situation. We came in to be able to help with the development of Jamaica back.
Yes. I'm losing you.
About Africa, it is about us as one people.
Right. No, you're here. You're back with us. It's when you lean back.
Hello?
Yes, we're hearing you. Yes, we're hearing you loud and clear. It's when you lean back. And we hear the point you're making to my brother, which is really brilliant, which is to say that that relationship that we forged and Ghana, Jamaica, let me just underscore this, that as you have said, the relationship started before, but the relationship took a whole new level when the first delegation went there to Panifest. It was out of those ongoing interactions between Ghana and Jamaica, the Black Star Line. Lady Eileen Thomas Gifford, let me just say, for us in Jamaica, she handed the baton to Sister P, Pauline Pettinor, after 92, or was it 94? And Sister P has taken that baton and has led the delegation with great support from Sister Parchie, Doris Parchment, and we have been coming back and forth to Ghana over these many, many years. I want you to look at a picture on screen that I just sent to you, Peter. This is a picture that was taken in 1992 in Ghana, Panifest.
Wow.
And we've been showing all morning some of those pictures on screen. But before I go into the break, I want Peter to put this picture up, because I'm going to ask Kofi, my brother Kofi Atakakra Kusi, if he's recognizing, not that one that's on now, because that's a much older picture. But I just sent it to you now.
Yeah.
All right. So 92 for us was where the idea of a seed was formed, and how we continue to go back and forth. After we come back from the break, and I'm waiting on the pic, I want to talk about 97 and how important 97 was, because 97 was the year that Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings came to Jamaica. And then out of 97,
that's true,
what happened in 1998 and why that was so. That's who's that person, Kofi, Brother Kofi?
Yeah, I'm trying to. The picture is blurred here. That's why.
Oh, Kofi, stop it. You stop it, Kofi. It's not blurry. Who is it? Who is that person? You have no idea, do you? Do you need me to take off my glasses? It's me. That's me in 1992. The Kofi is sticking there now. All right, so that's.
I'm trying to get the person.
It's me, Kofi. That's me. That's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. Wow.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, Asantua. Yeah, Asantua Cabo.
Yeah, Asantua.
Yes.
That is Asantua the first.
Yes. Yeah, that's me. That was taken in 1992 Panafest. And this sitting on my Ashanti stool. And this tells you the mode and the mood that we were in 1992. Young journalists there. Irie FM was just 2 years old. And the decision we took the minute before we landed in Ghana, and when we landed in Ghana, and what we came back to Jamaica with, and what we were able to achieve on this end in terms of the hundreds of people who, and Eileen Thomas was right, Lady Eileen Thomas Gifford, it really opened the way. It was like a gateway from Ghana to Africa.
Absolutely.
All right, when we come back, we want to look at 97 and 98.
98. Thank you.
Akipod Restaurant and Bar presents Raw Souls Sundays, the post-emancipation and pre-independence souls party with a difference. Place to be this Sunday, August 2nd, 2026 is 61 King Street, Linton, St. Catherine. Musical orgasm by DJ Pops, hosted by yours truly, Lady Timmery. Admission, wear Jamaican colors. Lots of prizes and surprises. Complimentary champagne and rolls for the first 30 females. Best dressed female wins a pair of Bridgets. $200 US for best dressed couple. Akipod Raw Souls Sundays is the place to be. Don't forget, the word is love.
Need information on everyday financial matters? Then check out the Financial Corner. This and every Monday at 6 p.m. during live at 5:45. We give relatable financial information, the latest financial news, as well as financial tips.
Brought to you by Quartz Ready Cash. Ready when you are.
That's Financial Corner. This and every Monday at 6 p.m. on the nation's #1 Irie FM.
This Sunday, August 2, the vibes are going all white as Retrology, the retro all-white party, takes over Paris St. Anne, and guess who's bringing you all the action? Irie FM will be broadcasting live from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Get ready for a night of timeless classics, unforgettable vibes, and the ultimate retro experience.
Any 90s people in our place?
Dress in your best all-white, gather your crew, and come party with the station that keeps Jamaica rocking.
Irie FM really rocking, you know.
If you can't make it, don't worry. We're bringing the excitement straight to your radio. That's live links from Retrology, the all-white party, Sunday, August 2, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Shaz in Paris St. Anne.
Down at Shaz, we got a car full of girls and it going real slow. And retroology, you know we gotta go.
Jamaica's biggest cooler festival, I Love Soca, takes over Plantation Cove, St. Anne on Friday, August 7th with a live performance by Voice.
I don't know about you, but I come here to fed.
And music by the best DJs ever. Get ready. Grab your coolers and your crew for a night of non-stop soca energy. Admission, 11,000 pre-sold. Coolers allowed before 11 p.m. Get your best weekend ever armbands at yourbestweekendever.com. Sponsored by Don Julio, Smirnoff, Johnny Walker, Rum Strike, Casamigos, and Jamaica Tourist Board. Must be 18 years and older. Drink and live responsible. ID required.
Principal Mikulski, in collaboration with Audrey Marks MP, presents Christiana Independence Gala Family Fun Day and Gospel Concert. Thursday, August 6th, home with Technical High School Football Field, Christiana, Manchester. Gates open 10 a.m. Showtime 7 p.m. Featuring DJ Malachi, Lloyd Antoine, Gassy Bless, Clive Warren, Chris Class, Fabian Wright, Nicole Robinson Arkins, MC Brother Palmer. Come for the attractions, competitions, lots of prizes and giveaways. Christiana Independence Gala Family Fun Day and Gospel Concert. Thursday, August 6th. Admission free.
Master, I have returned. Come, my child. What is that you hold in your hand? It's a radio. A radio? What is such a thing? Grandmaster, tell us. What is that?
请说定Irie电台。
We must take this to the village at once. Everybody need to hear such power.
This is your reggae Dr. Orbin. Irie FM, run China and the rest of the world. Keep it locked to Irie FM.
Irie FM.
When we lose our African connection, we lose our rural connection. When we disconnect ourselves from Africa, we cease to be a world people. Without the African connection, we are a disjointed people, begging for the entry into somebody else's house.
All right, we're back with you inside of the Africa Forum. This is Running Africa, and we're looking at the Ghana-Jamaica relations and looking from 1992 until the year of return 2019 and to now. My brother Kofi Atta Kakrakusi, who is the Deputy Director in charge of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Industry, is on the line. He's a Pan-Africanist, writer, cultural activist, public relations and marketing practitioner. And Kofi, our brother Kwame Pianke, who's in the United States, who is listening in from the United States, has written to say that he too had to travel after 1 year of law school. Kofi don't get it. Kofi. Yeah, well, he's back. All right, good to, Kofi, you're free, you froze for a minute there. So you see, a lot of us Pan-Africans had to travel after a year of law school. This is just basically how it is. As I say good morning to my sister Dawn Eaton, who is visiting in from the United Kingdom. Well, she finished. I think she finished all of law school and is now a practicing attorney. All right. Kofi, 1997, after going into Ghana every year, participating every 2 years, participating in the colloquium, participating in Panafest, and not just participating, but leading a lot of the activities in Panafest. The Jamaican delegation led by Lady Eileen Thomas, I know that he's frozen again, led by Lady Eileen Thomas Gifford, and then all these years by Sister P, with the assistance of Sister Parchy, that we've taken in numbers, hundreds of people. And every year we go, every Panafest we go to, we leave 2 or 3 people in Ghana who repatriate. And we're really pleased to see what's happening in Ghana now with the Jamaica community, Africa-Jamaica community, on the continent of Africa, in Ghana. Tell us how that community is developing, because you know, we have been traveling with our sisters and brothers from Jamaica every year since '92. I think we've lost him again. Totally. All right. Can you? Do we ask him to sign back in, or? All right. I hope that our brother can sign back in. Wow. So you see some pictures on the screen there. Let me just tell you that in '92, while we wait for our brother to come back in. In '92, when we went into Ghana, one of the things that it was very difficult to travel to Africa. It wasn't so easy. As a matter of fact, on my way back to Jamaica, I was stranded in Heathrow. I slept at the airport in Heathrow in '92, and that was on Christmas Day, by the way. So it wasn't as easy as it is now, and you needed a visa to get into Ghana. At the time, I was sponsored by the United Nations Seabed Authority. The Law of the Sea was the first sponsor for my personal trip. And I'm not sure Sister P can tell me what her sponsorship and also Elena and so on, because it wasn't easy. It was pretty expensive to get into Ghana. We traveled in with other media, because I traveled in with BBC, I remember, and this is where we met so many of our colleagues in the media, because there were so many who had come in from the BBC '92 and others who had come in from radio in London, local and otherwise. And it was really quite something when we landed in Ghana for '92. When we landed in Ghana, do we have him back? No? When we landed in Ghana in '92, it was a VVIP landing, because we didn't go through the usual customs or immigration. We were met on the tarmac, and red carpet was laid out for us. And they had the Peugeot, so the car named Peugeot? Peugeot. I mean, those cars were laid out for us, And you know, each of us had a car, almost like everybody had a car. There were like 5 cars for the 5 of we, and 2 were children. No joke about it. And they were like the latest model. And we had every media, it was paparazzi business, every media around us, lights flashing in our faces. We were interviewed on the tarmac. Then we were ushered into the VVIP area, and later on taken to a hotel. But because I was sponsored by the Seabed Authority, the Law of the Sea here in Jamaica, my accommodation was different from Sister P, Lady Eileen Thomas Gifford, Lord Gifford. And there was a fight for me. This is where I met Sister P, by the way. I met Sister P in Ghana, in the VVIP waiting room, the lounge in Ghana. This is in 1992. So there was a fight, there was a struggle for me because the government agents, the government workers were saying, you have to come with us. You cannot stay private. You have to come with us. And the people from the United Nations who were there to meet me were saying, no, she's staying with us. We have booked her accommodation. She's staying with us. We're expecting her. And this is the first time people fight for me in Africa. One person dragging me this way and another person dragging me that way. And I was there, you know, talking over them, not knowing what to do. And Sister P said, I recognize that voice. And she came over and she said, you're Andrea, because it's just before the Cabo days. We're not getting back to him. All right, for those who are watching online, continue to watch because I want to show you. Anyway, so I ended up staying with Sister P, Lord and Lady Gifford, Stevie Wonder, who else? Nina Simone. I have to talk about these things. You know, you go down to breakfast and it's like, wow. This is where I met Mother Khadija too, who I paid tribute to the other morning when she passed. Minister Louis Farrakhan. The American delegation was massive, and it was mainly celebrities from the United States. From the United Kingdom, they had, I think, the biggest delegation from the United Kingdom, and they were from the British Council, from all of the cultural groups in the United Kingdom. Then there were a sprinkling from Barbados and Trinidad. I think I remember Trinidad. If you're watching online, this is Lady Eileen Thomas Gifford, right? This is speaking at the Durbar of Chiefs. This is in 1992. The Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings, of course, there. And this is, you see the for those who are watching online, the banner. What does the banner say? Panafest, Ghana, Africa. It's Lord Gifford is the other person holding that banner. And this, as I said before, who do we have there on screen? Is this a P? Okay, so I'm not seeing it too well. All right. But these are all 92. Okay, you're back with us. So Kofi, you're back with us. I want you to look at this video that we're about to show, Kofi. Let me take a quick break. We come back and show that video.
Safe, reliable, great value. Always buy from an authorized IGL dealer. The time by IGL is
now 7:46. Now, there's a video we're going to show because we talk about 97 and we want to talk about 97 and 98 and how important these 2 years were and continue to be in Ghana-Africa relations. So in 1997, we excavated here in Jamaica the remains of some of our African ancestors at Seville. Yeah. It was Dr. Ben Yuckonen from the United States and myself and Sister P and Sister Minnie. As a matter of fact, Sister Minion Phillips, who owned the restaurant at the time here in Ocho Rios and a sister to the program, taken Dr. Ben there for lunch. And Dr. Ben, while we were having lunch, Dr. Ben, Sister Minnie said to us, have you gone up to Seville? And I said, yes, we're going to Seville. She said, when you go to look at the back veranda where they're thrown down, there are caskets there, steel caskets, and they have the remains of our ancestors there. So we went there and we saw this, and Dr. Ben and myself, we came back and we started to make the call for the reinterment of the bones of our ancestors at Seville. what we did was, along with through Irie FM, across the program, we launched a campaign for the reinterment. And on every program, we had those discussions. The bones were reinterred in 97. But after 97, while that was happening, it was Panafest that was coming up again. And so we spoke to Akuna Dake, who at the time was, our brother Akuna Dake was leading Panafest at the time, and asked him, what can we do together? And he said, listen, the Carson family is coming from the U.S. and they're going to be reburying their ancestors here. And I think Jamaica could do the same thing. From there, and I'll walk you through that later on, but from there, we brought the bones back to Ghana. It was a delegation led by Nana Rita Marley and Sister Minnie, Sister P, Sister Parchi, and probably 50 of us who went to Ghana, returning the bones of our ancestors. We called the ancestors from Ghana Crystal because when she was found with a crystal on her chest, in her chest area. And so she was called Crystal. Let me show you the video you're watching on screen. Can we do the video now? All right, let's do the video so you can hear the audio for both radio and those who are watching. Right, so I'm not hearing, but I'm not quite sure. All right, so let me just talk you through what's happening there, although I'm not seeing it too well. So we are gathered on the... Okay, did you start with us on just at the seaside, waiting for the boats to come in? All right, you see that young person who is in that full red, that bald-headed young person? Are you hearing it? I'm not hearing. Are you hearing the audio, Kofi? I think we probably lost Kofi again. All right. I think you... Anyway, for those who are watching on screen, so the... Not hearing. All right, so you see the caskets coming in. The libation is being poured. You see me there with my in the water with my my microphone and my marantz over my shoulder. That is when the remains of our ancestors are coming in. So see, it's thousands of people. This is just on the beach, right? Thousands and thousands of people who were waiting for our ancestors to come in from the ocean, because that's how they came back from the Atlantic Ocean. And see, so through the door of return. This is now, it was always a door of... There's audio? I'm not hearing anything. All right. All right, so Peter is telling me that there's audio. So let me know that if you're hearing... Are you hearing audio? All right, no, so we're not hearing the audio, but this is, so when we went through the door of return, that was a spiritual moment, because as I said before, the door of no return, it was always called the door of no return. It was in 98 that we renamed it by carrying our ancestors, Ancestor Carson and Ancestor Crystal, back through the door. And the moment, it was a highlight, because the moment we stepped through that door, it was renamed the door of return. Okay, here we go. I'm hearing the sound now. Do you want to take it back from the top then? All right, let's go back from the top. Let's go back from the top, because we're hearing, that's me there. All right, that's me and Sister Minnie.
For a reunion with the motherland. For those of us you left behind, this ceremony signifies our atonement for the abuse and your loss. It is an atonement for whatever role some of us might have played, directly or indirectly, in aiding and abetting this heinous crime. And for the brothers and sisters in the diaspora, it is a platform to recognize, acknowledge, and return to their roots. The myth of the door of no return has been broken. Now there is a door of return.
Yeah.
It was a great victory to the spirit of our ancestors. That was the most important part. I think they have never get their rights, and it is good that their children in this time find to honor them and respect them and give them their full rights. And that was one of the totality of knowing that the victory has come, that even the bones reach back here to lay in its homeland. And that was a great spiritual and physical upliftment for the nation of black people throughout the world.
Right.
So we dance with joy. We dance and trample upon the very floor where we were once oppressed and subjected to all kinds of inhumanity. We dance in a circle because we have now come full circle. And from now on, we resolve to let that circle remain unbroken. Never again will we allow ourselves to be enslaved, either physically or mentally. And in all things, we give thanks and praises to the Almighty.
Victory over all evil adversary thoughts that thought that this day would never come, that the children that had taken a journey would not return home. But we have returned home, and we are one family, one people, and one African family. And we proclaim our freedom this day, never to be enslaved again, never to be colonized again, never to be oppressed again, but we stand here to proclaim the indomitable spirit of the African. And we speak for generations of Africans who cried, who screamed, who lived, who died, who suffered. Most of all, we realize it was upon their shoulders and their experience that we here today testify of their victory and their strength.
We are now on the last lap of this spiritual journey. The destination is Asin Manso. This will be the final resting place of the remains of the two ancestors.
All right, and the journey continued to Asin Manso. My brother Kofi. What a moment! What a moment!
Kabu, you could feel I'm very emotional at this time, at this point. Very, very emotional. You know, seeing Rabbi Cohen Halevi making his statement clearly and saying that we are one African people. It is time that we get together and move Africa forward. It's so emotional, so emotional. Of course, seeing Samuel Carson and Crystal, the two slave ancestors, of course, from the United States and Jamaica, we buried yesterday. Of course, yesterday, if I say yesterday, of course, was on the 1st of August, 1998. They were buried.
Yes.
Were buried in Asin Manso. Oh, it's so emotional. So yesterday, 1st August would have been 1998 would have been some couple of years back. Oh, may their souls rest in peace. I feel so emotional now.
Yes.
Very, very emotional, but all the same, life continues. Of course, on that day, it was under the theme Emancipation, Our Heritage, Our Strength. We had a lot of mourners from the African Americans and the African diaspora. Of course, like it is my own godfather, the Mr. Kujoyanka, the Central Regional Minister. He stood in as strongly as possible. Of course, the National Commission on Culture was also represented by Nana Kweku Sapon and Co. And we had Mr. Mike Gizo, the Minister for Tourism. Of course, the delegation from Jamaica was also there. It was so emotional.
It was emotional. We actually brought. I was there. That little girl you see running up and down in the water with her tape recorder over her shoulder, in the full red with the bald head. That's me, and we broadcast live from the water. We broadcast live from the Cape Coast Dungeon. And, just across the time, we carried back the sights and sounds of what was happening there to Jamaica. That led to 2019, 1992, high point, 1998, and then 2019, another high point, which was a year of return. In 2 minutes, tell us a little bit about that.
Yes.
Okay, we're losing you again, my brother Kofi. I'm not quite sure what's happening. All right.
Can you
hearing you now. Go ahead.
Can you get me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
You get me? Hello?
Getting you now.
Yes, thank you. So the year of return in 2019, that was one of our landmark campaigns that the government instituted. And with the year of return, it was a whole lot. The year of return was 400 years, marked 400 years since the first enslaved Africans arrived in Jamestown in Virginia in 1619. In 1619, the first enslaved Africans arrived in Jamestown. So they moved from Jamestown in Ghana and to Jamestown in Virginia in 1619. So that marked about 400 years. Right. Now, let me say that Ghana strategically positioned itself with the year of return. The reason being that it was a time for reconnection. We wanted to reconnect with our African brothers and sisters, right? Both spiritually and physically. And then also for them to come into the country and also help to also build the African continent, not only Ghana, but the African continent. So you realize that the reconnection also got in touch with tourism, and then there was investment, and then also commemoration. All these came into play at the same time. In doing this, what happened was that the year of return, bringing in our African Americans, people of African descent, tourists and foreigners, what we did was to connect them to our African roots. So we had that documentary, for example, the documentary that you placed, the documentary of the video.
Lost you again, Brother Kofi. Yes, you were saying the last thing we heard, Brother Kofi, is that the documentary that you played. All right, it's breaking up. You're breaking up, Kofi. Are you
there
hearing
was that spiritual connection.
Mm-hmm. I hope
from Asim Manso to Asim Praso, and then also to the Cape Coast Castle dungeon. So the documentary that you played on the castle, the video documentary that were shown.
All right, we're losing him. We know you're there, but we're losing. Yeah. All right. We lost some of what you said. Yeah, we're hearing you there now. We have to wrap up this segment. We lost you for a minute, but hopefully, are you hearing me? Because I just wanted to give our brother Kofi a final word in all of this. For those who are watching online, you're still seeing scenes from Ghana, from some of the later Panafest activities, Emancipation celebration in Ghana. Let me see if we still have our brother. Are you there with me now, Brother Kofi? All right, so we've lost. Yes, all right. Let me give you a quick final word, because we're totally out of time, and to say thank you so much to you and our brother Kojo Yanka. But a quick final word.
Yes, my final words is that it is very important that as Africans, we get together and then continue to build that bond, especially with Ghana and Jamaica. We forged a good relationship right from 1992 till now. So it is very important that that relationship continues to stand. But of course, like the year of return, we build upon it to beyond the return. And beyond the return, we are still building upon it with the Black Star experience. So with that, we wish that all Africans, people of African descent, Jamaicans, will join us to push the African agenda. Ghana is known to be the cradle of Pan-Africanism. So it is very important that we continue to connect with each other and push the African agenda. Enough respect to my godfather, Honorable Kujoyanka, the former board chairman of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Mr. Akunu Dake. He's also one of my godfathers. Right.
Please say hi
so
to...
these are people who continue to hold the very structures.
Yes.
Hello.
All right, please greet our brother Akune Dake. Tell him we have been trying to get him online because we want to walk down memory lane with him also to talk about the return. And next week we'll also have online Honorable Kojo Yanka. So it's a series we're doing. Thank you so much, my brother. I really appreciate you coming on and look forward to continuing our networking, our conversations, our discussions as the Ghana-Jamaica relationship remains as strong as ever, from the grassroots up.
That's right. Thank you very much. The network was so bad, so they couldn't offer me the opportunity to give enough insight.
That's true, but we heard a lot. I mean, we heard a lot. Yet, believe me, a lot was said, a lot got through, and we're very thankful for that. And listen, we're blessed just to have you in the space. Thank you so much. We'll hear more from you another time, but we heard a lot this morning. Thank you so much, my brother. It was enough, as it should be. Our ancestors will it.
Thank you very much. But fortunately, Akunu Dake became the board chairman for the Ghana Tourism Authority. Right. Yeah, he became. So he's no more on the seat. Yeah. And he did very well.
Okay. Oh, he did.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, my brother Kofi. Good to have you online. What a conversation. What a memory, just talking about the Ghana-Jamaica relation. Our brother Kofi Atta Kakra-Kusi, who was online live from Ghana, as we said before, currently the Deputy Director in charge of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority. He's a Pan-Africanist, he's a writer, a cultural activist, public relations and marketing practitioner. I guarantee you'll be hearing much more from him over the time in this program. As I said before, next week, Honorable Kojo Yanka will be in the space as we look back to go forward. Sankofa, there's no shame in going back to the past to retrieve that which we have lost. It has to be from the grassroots up, not from the top down, from the grassroots up. And this is how we started it in 92, and we haven't stopped. Thanks to Lady Eileen Thomas Gifford, thanks to Lord Gifford, thanks to Sister P, who took the baton of the Black Star liner from Lady Gifford and has been carrying it as strong as ever. When we come back from the break, so many people say that they didn't see that little bald-head girl, you know. You're going to have to put it up and freeze it or something, some people say. But you know, anyway. That person running up and down in the water was me. Or can you take it back? Let me go to the break first.
You get chopped? Not take that. Make Mocha FIB and the police help you. Call 311 or 1-888-662-2847. The time by the FID, Mocha and the JCF is
7 minutes after 8 o'clock. And, right. So if you can, quickly, let's just have another look at the video. All right, no, not that one. It's a video, where we are on the, although that's me too, where we're on the, we're in the ocean. You see, when the bones of our ancestors, what we did in Ghana was that we took the bones of our ancestors, Carson and Crystal, back into the Atlantic Ocean, and we entered H.E. Kofi Attor, distinguished Ghanaian lawyer, former parliamentarian, seasoned public service servant, and Ghana's ambassador to Cuba, with concurrent accreditation to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Barbados, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Panama, Nicaragua, and the Dominican Republic. And he's also a barrister at law with advanced degrees in development studies and political science. He has over 3 decades of experience in governance, diplomacy, and public service. He has served as Chief of Staff in the Office of the Speaker of Parliament of Ghana, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communication, and a Member of Parliament for Ho Central, where he also chaired the Foreign Affairs Committee as lectured in law, represented Ghana at the United Nations and Africa Union summits, and continues to play a key role in political leadership as a member of the Council of Elders of the National Democratic Congress. He joins me on Zoom at 8:37. At 9 o'clock, we're going to be joined live in studio by Dr. Marva Hewitt, who will be talking to us about a whole other subject. But let me just remind you that we are celebrating emancipation. We're connecting back to the continent of Africa. We're Sankofa-ing to go forward. We need to remind ourselves of where we're coming from to understand where we're going. And we're going to do a series of this as we go through the month of August. So there's a lot to get through there. But there's another thing I want to talk to you about before we continue with the Ghana discussions at 8:37, and we'll take a break and come back to that. And basically it's to look at an announcement that was made by the Prime Minister talking about the Jamaica National Security Council and some of the announcements, the decisions that were taken there. Let me take a break.
Bounce out family fun day, yeah. And football carnival, it's gonna be lit, yeah.
Get something 10 a.m. It's Bounce Out Family Fun Day and Football Carnival. Prep and primary schools, high schools, regular ballers. Over $1 million in cash and prizes. 30+ rides for the kids. Independence Day, August 6th. Jacksal Sports Complex, St. Anne. Music by DJ Smurf. Showtime 7 p.m. Performance by Deep Chai. Admission 1,500 pre-sold, 2.5 at the gate. Kids under 12 free. Ticket outlets, Great House Pharmacy, Ocho Total Gas Station, St. Anne's Bay. Eyeglass Factory, St. Anne's Bay. Ocho class.
New York link up, London link up in association with Sizzler Youth Foundation. Proudly present Summer Bikini, all white bus trip beach party all day, all night. Long Bay Beach, the grill, August 6th. Featuring Sizzler Kalanji, Junior Cat, Missing a J, G Action, Kira, Admission 2000. Music by King Tafara, Lizard Light Mara, Flames Million, DJ Kira was the back on me. August 6th, Long Bay Beach, the grill, Summer Bikini.
Get your best weekend ever season armbands and tickets at Loud Fashion, Fierce by Dre, Chester's Chicken Lickety, Browse by Rashida, Pulse Complex, Top Tier Liquor Store, Crossroads, Plantation Smokehouse, Kaya Herb House, Drax Hall, 12 to 12 Lounge, TK Rafine, Gina's Pharmacy Portmore, Iconic Boutique with Class, Mandeville, Asani's Fashions, Montego Bay, sponsored by Don Julio, Smirnoff, Johnny Walker, Rum Strike, Casamigos, and Jamaica Tourist Board. Must be 18 years and older. Drink and live responsibly. ID required.
Shuttlebus Reese and PJ presents Lovers and Friends, Souls, R&B, and Lovers Rock. August 5th, 2026 at Harbor City Mall, Montego Bay. Gates open 8 p.m. Music by Shuttlebus, DJ Bashment, and DJ Ray. Admission pre-sold. Ladies $2,000, male $3,000, couples $4,000, everyone $5,000 at the gate. Get your tickets now at Ultimate Male Fashion Store, Winter Village, Asani's Fashion, Hip Strip, 876 Beachwear, Weston Mabay, Pier 1, and the Fade Room, Fairview. Must be 18 years and older. Drink and live responsibly. Responsibly.
Don't miss Retrology, 80s, 90s, all white, grooving on the lawn. Sunday, 2nd of August, on the lawns behind Shaz Gas Station, Priory, St. Anne. Get your $7,000 tickets now from the following outlets in St. Anne: TK Raffine, Blingers Ocherios, St. Anne's Bay Card Centre, Father Table's Supermarket, Brownstown, and Shaz Gas Station. And from St. Mary, Blingers and Chicken Hut, Port Maria, Mingles Top Tier Lounge, Home and Closet Essentials, Shampoo Gucci Cat, and Bob's Supermarket. Part proceeds in aid of Angels Foundation. This is a food-inclusive event.
All right, we're back with you inside of the Africa Forum. This is Running Africa, and thank you so much for joining us inside of the forum this morning. My name is Kabu Ma'at Kiru, going through until 10 o'clock. I'm stepping all over my headphone thingy. All right, thank you so much for joining us. For the first time, we're understanding that Egypt has been struck by a drone. Whose drone is it, or was it? I don't know. They say it is Iran that struck Egypt. And I suppose they're having some conversations about that. We told you about the Donald Trump highway that's from Morocco to the Sahel. They have built a highway. This is pretty interesting, and we're paying attention to it because that highway, I think, has implications for what will happen in the Sahel in short order. An interesting situation happened in all right, so I think for those who are looking online, the information is there. Read the highway that runs from Morocco to the Sahel. The implications are many because the nexus is Morocco, Israel, and the United States. It's the same nexus for FIFA. It's a geopolitical crisis that we're facing. And it's the very same players, whether it is sports, news, or just ordinary hard news, entertainment news. The nexus is Morocco, Israel, and the United States. Sometimes we forget Morocco. There's a proxy war that is being fought in the Sahel. And it's interesting because that proxy war is being fought by the Ukraine. And Ukraine isn't hiding this. They're saying that they're attacking Russian assets, according to them, in the Sahel. And it's a shadow war that is being fought in the Sahel by Russia, by Ukraine. So in the wake of that war that is being ongoing for some time now, it's since 2022, although people tend to say 24, but even before 22, long before 22, the minute NATO started advancing on Russia, we have Africa in the crosshairs. And we're seeing now where Ukraine has come out. Ukraine is fighting a war on their own front, but they've come out now to say that they are indeed fighting a proxy war in Africa. So Africa really cannot escape the geopolitical crisis, the upheaval, because we see on many fronts where shadow wars are being fought. In Somalia, in Somaliland, in Ethiopia, Tigray. If you check the news this morning, Tigray is in the news again. So shadow wars being fought all up and down the Horn of Africa, into North Africa, and then over into West Africa. And all of this, part of the greater war that is being fought in this new world order. And Africa is involved in many ways, not just from the perspective of the shadow wars that are being fought across the continent of Africa, but also, as it has always been for minerals, from the time of Patrice Lumumba until now. We have to be very careful in how we begin to understand what's happening on the continent of Africa and who we align with, because there are alignments that include our own people who are part of the problem, who have aligned themselves with the aggressors and the imperialists and against the liberation of African people. And to come closer to home, we're watching what's happening. We're watching what's happening in the security apparatus of Jamaica. As we say good morning to our brother who's writing to us from Kenya. Thank you so much, my brother. Kimathi and Kuma, I see you coming in from Kenya. Abari Yaleo Kabuma at Kiru, he says, good morning to you. Good day to you, Kabu. And to you too, my brother, and to the family in Kenya. There are a few things happening on the island that we have to pay attention to. You know, there are lots of distractions. Destruction too, but lots of distractions. For example, we're distracted with who is talking to who in the Ministry of Culture. That's a distraction. We're not really business, because it doesn't make no difference whether Carencia and Babsy talk. It should not be taking up so much of our time. We're distracted by that. We're also distracted by voice notes, leaked voice notes. That's a distraction. While we are distracted by them little things, and there are more too that I could point out. There are some things that's happening that are connected to the wider security, the new global order, the Monroe Doctrine, the Manifest Destiny, the 4 layers of hemispheric control that we talked to you about, the Plan Colombia, the CARC, the Shield of the Americas, Escudo de las Americas. There are movements, serious movements on these issues. Jamaica's position in the new hemispheric security architecture. The Prime Minister of Trinidad, Kamala Prasad Basesa, has said that they've uncovered an assassination plot against her. And the assassination plot include people from within the region. The meeting that Marco Rubio had, attended by Jamaica's foreign minister. The announcement about leftist terrorism in the United States. The Executive Order 14404 that criminalizes and make anyone who assists Cuba terrorists. The embassy that is closing in the Dominican Republic. All these things are connected, you know. The meeting attended by, in Cusco, Peru, the meeting of defense ministers, attended by the Minister of National Security here on the island, Mr. Harris Chang, Dr. Chang. Cold War III in the Caribbean waters, that is criminalizing anyone who assists Cuba. The sanctions that the U.S. has expanded on Cuba. The announcement from Andrew Holness about the July 23 meeting of the security, let me ensure that I've got it right. the Jamaica National Security Council meeting on July 23. The strategic priorities outlined by the Prime Minister: 1, countering transnational organized crime. You know, we were way ahead of them talking about transnational organized crime, right, in this space, remember, along with our brother Figueroa, Darius Figueroa from Trinidad. So we understand that this was happening. But it's interesting the way they're going about it, because it's connected back into last week we carried a document that was published by the U.S. Secretary of State talking about Cuba and China's involvement in Cuba. They're saying China is a spy in Cuba and Russia is a spy in Cuba. And then the question arises, with Jamaica 45 miles away from Cuba, is China, because they say Florida is at risk because Florida is 90 miles away. That's what the document says. And I know it's because Peter is busy while we're not seeing all of these documents coming up on the screen. But that's what the document says. Right? That Cuba document that we carried last week, Peter. So they're saying that if Cuba is 90 miles away, and they say Florida is 90 miles away from Cuba, and Florida is at risk from, what do you call it, terrorism or spying from China, then China is in Jamaica, and China is in Jamaica in a very, very serious way. So how does Jamaica escape? How does Jamaica escape? So the interconnectedness, the interconnected security, and the shared purpose, Jamaica has already taken a decision. The Jamaica National Security Council decisions of July 23, 2026 demonstrate a strong strategic alignment with the Shield of the Americas, the South America Defense Conference in Cusco, that's in Peru, the Washington, D.C. ministerial meetings led by the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and we hear the announcement coming from the Prime Minister. Countering transnational organized crime, synthetic drugs and narcotics, intelligence sharing, cybersecurity and digital crime. As a matter of fact, they've gone all out with the cybersecurity and digital crime, making it sound like it's something happened yesterday, and we've been telling you that for years, that young people are being lured through the internet into sex trafficking. Economic security, they're framing that, and whole of government national security. This is something that has been announced by the Prime Minister of Jamaica, reiterated by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Camilla Johnson-Smith, at the post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday, where Babsy Grange attended and announced that the Ghanaian President will be in Jamaica. There's a very important thing that we have to do, and that is to keep focus on this very thing. Everything else is a distraction. Because if you keep focus on this, you can't miss anything at all, because they will just come in. They'll be pulled in like a magnet. But there are discussions happening in Jamaica, decisions that have already been taken that shows that Jamaica has chosen a side and that Jamaica is in the crosshairs, worse than ever, of this geopolitical Cold War III that is ongoing in the Caribbean waters, the Caribbean and Latin America, all pulled back to the Monroe Doctrine, the Donroe Doctrine, and the Shield of the Americas, including the third country nationals and the third country deportees. If we focus on one, we will lose all the others. This is basically what is happening. So if we focus on the third country deportees, we're going to lose the bigger picture. Because the third country deportees are part of the Shield of the Americas, the Monroe Doctrine, the Manifest Destiny, as it being played out. Let me go to Cashbot, right?
And let the games begin.
Good morning. It's Sunday, August 2nd, 2026. I'm Timon and welcome to Supreme Ventures live early bird game draw. Now before we begin, here's a quick look at last night's winning numbers. Do remember that all live draws are supervised by the Betting, Gaming and Lot Risk Commission and observed by the independent auditing firm PwC. And now, let's put some money in your top drawer. This morning's jackpot begins at $200,000. So here now, you're winning top drawer numbers. And the first top drawer number coming your way, it is number 17. Or second number to make its way down is counted number 18. Following 18, we have ball number 12, as well as a solid number 20. The final number for all of $200,000 is lucky number 7. And now let's pick your play with or dollars game. I hope you're feeling lucky. Here we go. And we kick things off with our first dollars number. It is the number 18. For second number is a solid number 20. Following 20, we cut it in half to a solid number 10. Here it comes. The number 24, followed by a 527. Now taking us halfway there, we have a countdown to the number 26. Here comes a golden 32. And slowly but surely, we have the number 35. Next in line, it is the number 13. And following 13, we have the number 9. A solid number 30 is next, and we wrap things up in our early bird dollars game with the number 11. And now for some easy winnings with our pick 2 games, so get those tickets out and let's play. And our first winning pick 2 number is the number 19, or second number. It is the number 23. So once again, the winning pick 2 numbers are 19 and the number 23. Up next, the game you can play all of 3 ways. It is a pick 3 game, so keep those tickets out and good luck to you. 3 is our first pick 3 number, second number. It's the number 4 and our third and final pick 3 number. It is 0. So once again, the winning pick 3 numbers are 3, 4, and 0. It is now time to turn up your winnings. Let's get ready for pick 4. And our first winning pick 4 number, what will it be? It is the number 5, or second number to make its way up is the number 4. And our third pick 4 number, here it comes. It's 0, and our fourth and final pick 4 number, it is the number 4. So once again, the winning pick 4 numbers are 5, 4, 0, and the number 4. Now this one, easy for win. So what do you say we heat things up with hot pick? And our winning hot pick number, it is a solid number 10. So congratulations to our hot pick winners. Again, the winning number is 10. Now to all Cashbot lovers, you know you live to play it, but can you win it? Get ready to be a big Cashbot winner, and let's see what the winning Cashbot number will be. And our early bird winning Cashbot number, what will it be? Here it comes. It's the number 4, and the lucky mark is egg. And now let's mega those winnings, and good luck. What will it be? It is a mega ball that has been selected. It's now time for the big one, the monster winning. So good luck once more. And a white ball has been selected. And now let's take a look at the early bird winning numbers, and of course, congratulations to everyone who won. Now join me again at 10:30 a.m. for more games you love to play. I'm Timon, I'm Supreme Winning.
Hope you were a big winner. Play your favorite Supreme Ventures games every day and tune in for our live draw 6 times a day at 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:25 p.m. on this station. Supreme Ventures, making winners every day.
All right, that was the early bird top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick and cashpot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 10:30 a.m. for another chance to win in top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick and cashpot draws.
When I need to order concrete for my big or small jobs, I order only solid concrete. Yes, solid concrete mix for my money. The time by Solid Concrete Mix is...
Now 8:35.
This is an important announcement from the National Water Commission. The National Water Commission wishes to advise that pipeline installation works will begin along Old Hope Road between Retreat Avenue and Monroe Road on Monday, August 3, as Phase 3 of the Monroe-Wellington pipeline project gets underway. Motorists should expect temporary traffic changes, including the closure of the two inner northbound lanes. The southbound lanes will be used for northbound and southbound traffic. In addition, southbound traffic will be restricted from turning right onto Retreat Avenue between 7 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. and again between 3 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. The NWC apologizes for any inconvenience these essential infrastructure works may cause and encourages commuters to plan their journeys ahead of time, obey all posted traffic signs, and follow the directions of traffic personnel. That was an important announcement from the NWC.
Ray and nephew, Denby, Ray culture yard, Denby, Ray culture yard. Yo, this is the genius. Telling you that Denby 2026 just leveled up this year. July 31st to August 2nd. Just make sure you forward to the Ray Culture Yard at the Denby Agricultural Show in Maypen, Clarendon. So you know the vibes. We're gonna have some Ray and nephew cocktails and celebrate the culture all weekend long. Pull up with your crew, play some exciting games, and create some new memories. Ray and nephew, a food with culture, and we'll see you at the Ray Culture Yard at Denby Showground. Must be 18 years old. Ray Culture Yard.
New York link up, London link up in association with Sizzla Youth Foundation. Proudly present Summer Bikini, all white bus trip beach party all day, all night. Long Bay Beach, the grill, August 6. Featuring Sizzla Kalonji, Junior Cat, Singer J, G and Shakira. Admission 2,000. Music back in the Farrell, Lizard at Mara. Flames Million, DJ Kira was the back on me. August 6, Long Bay Beach, the grill, Summer Bikini.
This Sunday, August 2, the vibes are going all white as Retrology, the retro all-white party, takes over Paris St. Anne, and guess who's bringing you all the action? Irie FM will be broadcasting live from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Get ready for a night of timeless classics, unforgettable vibes, and the ultimate retro experience.
Any 90s people in our place?
Dress in your best all-white, gather your crew, and come party with the station that keeps Jamaica rocking.
Irie FM really rocking, you know?
If you can't make it, don't worry. We're bringing the excitement straight to your radio. That's live links from Retrology, the all-white party, Sunday, August 2, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Shaz in Paris St. Anne.
Down the Shaz, we got a car full of girls and it going real slow. And Retrology, you know we gotta go.
Easy access, chilling and brunching on the Lord. Touch of Independence, August 6th, 2026. Performing live, DJ! Musical entertainment by DJ Banker and DJ Poppy. Team X, YM Entertainment. Powered by Soulville. At Shaz Ground, Prairie St. Anne. Admission $7,000 pre-sold. Food inclusive event. You must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly. Chilling and brunching on the lawn.
Don't miss Retrology 80s, 90s, all right, grooving on the lawn. Sunday, 2nd of August, on the lawns behind Shaz Gas Station, Priory, St. Anne. Get your $7,000 tickets now from the following outlets in St. Anne: TK Raffine, Blingers Ocherios, St. Anne's Bay Card Centre, Salvatore Supermarket, Brownstown, and Shaz Gas Station. And from St. Mary, Blingers and Chicken Hut, Port Maria, Mingles Top Tier Lounge, Home and Closet Essentials, Shampoo Gucci Cut, and Bob's Supermarket. Part proceeds in Aid of Angels Foundation. This is a food-inclusive event.
Shuttlebus Reese and PJ presents Lovers and Friends. Soul's R&B and Lovers Rock. August 5th, 2026 at Harbor City Mall, Montego Bay. Gates open 8 p.m. Music by Shuttlebus, Steely Bashment, and DJ Ray. Admission pre-sold. Ladies $2,000, male $3,000, couples $4,000, everyone $5,000 at the gate. Get your tickets now at Ultimate Male Fashion Store, Winter Village, Asani's Fashion, Hip Strip, 876 Beachwear, Weston Mabay, Pier 1, and the Fade Room, Fairview. Must be 18 years and older. Drink and live responsibly.
When we lose our African connection, we lose our rural connection. When we disconnect ourselves from Africa, we cease to be a world people. Without the African connection, we are a disjointed people, begging for the entry into somebody else's house.
All right, we're back with you inside of the Africa Forum. We're standing by to speak to our next very special guest, His Excellency Kofi Attor, distinguished Ghanaian lawyer, former parliamentarian, seasoned public servant, and Ghana's ambassador to Cuba, who is in Jamaica ahead of the visit to Jamaica of the President of Ghana. And President coming in this evening, we understand, at around 8:30 or thereabouts, and has a full calendar for the 3 days or so that he'll be on the island. So we're standing by to speak with our next very special guest. In the meantime, I don't know if you've heard, but AI companies, they're burning books again. It's interesting. They're doing this. You have to say burning. Thank you, K-Dot, for pointing me to this information, K-Dot Azikwe, because I didn't realize. So what we're understanding is that AI companies are purchasing and physically destroying millions of books to train their artificial intelligence models. This controversial practice, known as destructive scanning, involves bulk buying second-hand out of print and older books, slicing off their spines with industrial machinery and scanning the pages of those books at high speed and then pulping or discarding the physical remains. This is Alexandria 2.0. They're burning books again. So why are the AI companies destroying physical books? Well, our understanding is that, and this is the reporting on it, by legally buying physical books, and Fortune is reporting this, right? By legally buying physical books from second-hand retailers and wholesalers, AI companies own the physical property. U.S. federal courts have ruled in landmark cases such as lawsuits involving Anthropic and OpenAI that digitizing legally purchased physical books for internal model training constitutes transformative fair use, making it a legal loophole to bypass digital licensing restrictions. We're standing by for my guest. Is he on? All right, so we're not getting His Excellency Kofi Attor. All right, so they say there's also a data contamination problem, right? The internet is increasingly flooded with AI-generated text. AI labs specifically hunt for pre-2022 printed books because they provide high-quality, entirely human-written and professionally edited language. They're also running out of data, we understand. AI companies have largely exhausted high-quality text available on the open internet and are moving to paper to feed their data-hungry large language modules. And what is the scale of the destruction? Mass digitization projects, high-profile operations like Anthropic, the internal Project Panama, so you can Google that, Project Panama, have systematically purchased and processed millions of books. Document leaks revealed companies hiring scanning vendors to cut and process up to 2 million books over 6 months period. This is reporting by Fortune, also Fortune magazine reporting on these things. There's a whole lot more. Rare titles are being destroyed. While text-post people claim that they avoid antiquarian or rare volumes, independent and antique booksellers across Europe and America report massive, unusual surges in bulk orders. So they're burning books again. You know, we said it all, you have said it many times, and I listen. What is the end result? It's going to feed back on itself. It's going to loop back on itself. And this explains to us, we've been here before, you know. When we ask the question, what happened to the people of Sumer? How come we lost the knowledge that we had? How come we built the pyramids but we forgot how to build them? How come we knew so much about building these massive Olmec heads? How come we did so much and then we go turn around and look for ourselves? In search of us, in search of we the people who have done so much already. It's because we've been here before. It's a cycle. We're going through back what we've gone before, because what is the nth degree of this? What if a system crashed? Remember when the lights went out June 18 in Jamaica? The entire island was out for 8 hours. At the minute, we do not know why, They say it is lightning, but they're lying. We do not know why. It means the lights will go out again. And if we continue like this, what is the nth degree? Where are we going? Because we're going through what we've gone through before. I mean, even if you look at how these artificial intelligence companies operate, massive use of electricity, massive use of water. Remember, with the convergence of the digital technologies, we're moving from physical structures, for manufacturing and so on. A lot could be done online that you didn't need a physical structure for. But we're going right back to where we're coming from, which is you need a physical structure for the cooling down of a system and whatever tokens and whatever it is that they're using in AI technology. And you need the electricity. You need a physical structure for the electricity. And it is a massive amount of electricity, massive amount of water, massive amount of resources, generally speaking. But we're coming from there, and we're going back there. And the question is, when we destroy everything that is analog, everything that is physical, and we're dependent on virtual, what happens when virtual crashes? And we can learn from when the lights went out in Jamaica, when we couldn't really do nothing. Those who did have coal stove probably say, okay, yeah, you think about burning coal kin and so on. We're going to have to return, and then we're going to say, but how did we get back here? I mean, how did they build these places? How they have these things that look like gas stove and electric stove? What were those? How did they? This is basically the questions we're going to ask, because if your fridge is now telling you when to eat and what is in there and all them something there, let me tell you how it's starting already. You notice the washing machines. All right, hold on.
Get more miles with the Ruby's Ultratech. Fuel the difference for peak performance and maximum savings. Drive more and save more. The time by Ruby's Ultratech is
now 8:47. All right, you notice the washing machine. Right now, I have my sisters and myself, with siblings, we have a thing going with our mother because Mama don't want the washing machine that is all digitized. And we can't find a washing machine that's not digitized. That is it. And my mother prefers to wash with her hand because she's saying she cannot manage that. Not only can she, not because she can't manage it, but there's not enough water to feed the machine for what, in terms of what the machine is calling for to have a good wash and rinse and the whole story. So, but this is where we are. Also, is a smart TV. So my mother has the same problem with the smart TV. She don't want to have to go through all of that. She don't need all of those things on her TV. She just need to turn it on and get the news at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock and so on and so forth. I'm making this point to say that already we are seeing a situation where the things that you could physically adjust and physically fix, they are totally gone from us. Much less when I reach AI yet when everything robotized, when everything is just, the robots. And don't feel away, the robots are really going to turn on people. Anyway, I know Peter don't agree with that. But yeah, the robots, you agree? The robots are going to turn on people, right? But aren't they turning on people already? Yeah, come see a robot kick a little huge in my belly in China. And I'm saying, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. Can you imagine? So I think we should go back and watch Transformers 1 and 2, which are the Matrix, right? Oh, Revolution. Have you watched Revolution? Okay, Revolution is old enough. Revolution is like from the 90s. You see the thing I play where say, we still don't know why the lights went out? That's from Revolution. We are literally, have you seen the movie Revolution? We are literally living in revolution. That is the time we're living in. And if you watch it, Revolution is prophetic in a way, because what it does is that it shows you that everything stopped at the same time. The train stopped running, all the digital technology stopped running, everything that uses digital technology just stopped. And then you have now the stars who are trying to figure out what happened. But do you know, I'm thinking about, just yesterday I was saying to my daughter that I'm just getting it, what happened in Revolution. You can find it. What happened in Revolution is that if you watch all the seasons of Revolution, at the end of revolution, they found the problem. And the problem relates to the phenomenal and exorbitant use of electricity by the tech bros people. Who do we have there now? We have His Excellency Kofi Attor, who is coming up on, wow, we have only 9 minutes, do we? Who is coming up on WhatsApp, I think. Do I need to change anything, Peter, or just go? Okay, so, all right, so let me do this. No, that's jingle. Oh, okay, so I have to switch over that. Or, I don't think so, but let me see. All right, do we have, all right, Ambassador Kofi Attor, are you hearing me? No, it's not, and I think it's because of where he is. So let me try all of these. All right, are you hearing me, Ambassador? I'm getting static.
I'm online.
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Thank you so much. We're joining you late. I'm not quite sure what happened, but we're very happy that you could join us even for a few minutes. Let me welcome you to Jamaica.
Thank you. And so far, so good. We've been here for 3 days, and I've seen so much.
Wow. Listen, you've been going across the island, have you?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, Jamaica is your home in the same way that Ghana is our home. So,
Yes.
welcome. Akwaba.
I agree.
Akwaba.
I agree with you entirely. And everybody I see here look like is coming from Ghana.
Of course, yes. This is basically how it is. It's basically how it is. As I said, look here, thank you for that, Midasi. Look here, we have the language, we're saying Akwaba, we're saying Midasi, we're saying Asante Sana, because we are one people and we're learning our tongue.
You are doing,
yes.
You are doing very well. You have moved from Ghana to East Africa.
Listen, and if I continue on the same track, I'm about to head to North Africa because I'm going to say Dua. Inshallah. We are just learning the tongue. Inshallah.
You are doing well.
Yes,
you
we're doing
well.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much, Ambassador. All right. So we're looking forward to Ghanaian president coming in. What can you tell us about that? I know there was an invitation from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, first of all, because she made that announcement, and then later from, obviously, the Prime Minister. But tell us about the background to the president, Ghanaian president, coming into Jamaica, President Mahama.
Okay. So we have had a long relations with Jamaica. I mean, for a very long time, from the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And in the year 1998 or so, we even sent our young men here as teachers, and so we've had all this. But of late, is gone up very high.
Yes.
We of late is gone up very high in all areas, in areas of health, cooperation, in areas of humanitarian support. You remember during Melissa,
yes,
Ghana was one of the countries that gave some support. We brought our people here in the area of trade and investment, in area of tourism, and area of educational cooperation. In fact, as I speak, 46 of nurses from Ghana will be arriving in Jamaica any moment from now.
Wow!
So with all this happening, it's just neat and proper that the president comes to meet with Prime Minister. He's coming of a delegation of 15 people in various areas.
Yes.
We'll have a round table meeting with the Prime Minister, and we want to deepen the various things that are happening now, and then put it on a higher pedestal.
I'm thankful for that. And as you said, the relationship has been long, has been really, really great. There's a Ghanaian community in in Jamaica, there is a African-Jamaican community that has integrated into Ghana, and this has been going on for many, many years. Second time we're having a president in recent times, because in 97 we had Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings, and now we're having another Ghanaian president coming in. So we welcome you, Akwaba, once again. All right, and so that and the plans. So the plans, and I understand all the meetings. All right, what are you aiming, and Ghana and Jamaica aiming to achieve with some of these meetings? I know reparations is on the table.
Yes, reparations is on the table. It's one issue that Jamaica picked up long ago, and we have picked it up right now and championing it from African Union to CARICOM and also to the United Nations.
Yes.
So there'll be a round table meeting at the University of West Indies, because the professor there is also the chairman of the Reparatory Committee.
That's Hilary Beckles.
So we have, Hilary Beckles, and we are going to be with him and faculty and students and everybody else who is interested in the reparations. You know, reparations is a huge area and takes various forms, and we need to continue talking about it and getting our experts down exactly what we mean and what we want. So that will be a big discussion. But we'll also be meeting a business group.
Yes,
I think they'll be meeting us at the harbor. The harbor. There are about 34 different business groups will be meeting with us, so that we talk into details. Because, like you said, some of the time these discussions end up on the drawing board, and they never get implemented.
Right.
So this time, we want to move the things forward. There are various committees, and luckily, I am now in Havana also. Accredited to Jamaica, and we are so close. And as a Pan-Africanist, even by training, I think that we should be able to move beyond table discussions. What we want to achieve is to concretize the discussions and get Ghana and Jamaica moving faster.
And I know you're in Havana. Sorry to interrupt, but I know you're in Havana. But you know, the Ghanaian, we've been going to, and well, one of the good things over the years when we needed a visa to go is that the ambassador usually come into Jamaica, and it's always an easy process to go, whether or not we needed a visa. Now we don't need a visa, but we still need the Ghanaian embassy. And we're hoping that you'll have a high commission or an embassy in Jamaica. You know,
the president is coming. We'll talk about it. Jamaica, you know, we will come there, because you see, we only had Havana for a very long time, and it's covered almost 15 Caribbean countries. But of late, we have opened one in Trinidad.
Yes.
So I suspect, although I cannot speak on behalf of the president, I suspect that this is on the drawing board, and the president is the one who can speak about that. It will be interesting to have a representation here. And I also like to call on Jamaica, because they are your ambassador is in Abuja.
It's in Nigeria, I know.
Nigeria. So we need to agree that Accra and Kingston should host ambassadors. I think that it's on the drawing board.
Yes, I look forward to that.
And it's on the drawing. That will lessen my travels also, because right now I'm for Jamaica, then I'm for Haiti, and I'm for Nicaragua, and I'm for Dominican Republic.
I know, and you've been doing an excellent job. Let me just say that, in connecting this region. As part of a trilateral region to the continent of Africa. So, kudos on that. But I hope that we'll get that announcement from the president when he comes in. I think he'll make the announcement of the Jamaican embassy before he leaves, right?
I'll leave that to the president.
Yeah, but I hear you laugh. I hear you laugh. So I know that we have touched on something. So
it's in my mind. But I will not be the right person The foreign minister is also here. He's actually in the hotel here with me.
Oh yes.
And the president, yeah, I came.
Yes.
They came yesterday.
Yes.
We came earlier. You know, I presented my credentials only on Wednesday.
Okay.
And the foreign minister arrived yesterday, and we are all expecting the president today. So between all of us, we should be president to come this evening.
We're looking forward to the interaction, to what comes out of the discussions. And you mentioned economics before. I know that we're looking at trade. I'm not quite sure what's happening on the continent of Africa and through the Africa Union. All these discussions that we had just recently, the organizations that have been formed and so on. But there's been a lot of talk and not so much action.
Let me give you an assurance.
Yes.
From January next year, the president of the chairman of the African Union will be President Mahama from Ghana.
Okay.
He will be there. He's already been nominated. He's just waiting. Mm-hmm. And from January, he will take over for at least 2 years. And you will see a lot of change.
Okay.
Because you see, what we do in Ghana is to set up secretariats for implementation. You don't just go to Addis Ababa, talk and come back and go again and talk and come back. From the formation of the African, that time it was Organization of African Unity.
Yes.
In 1963, Kwame Nkrumah actually took plane loads of Ghanaians to set up all the structures.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing he didn't get at the time was an immediate unity, which the rest thought was a little early in 1963, let the countries run themselves for some time. But all the structures were things that were proposed from Ghana. I can assure you that President Mahama, assuming the chairmanship from January, a lot more will go beyond talk.
All right, because the African Continental Free Trade Area, which I think with the African diaspora being the sixth region, I expected more movement on that. I'm seeing that Barbados seem very, very serious about this and are literally, in some cases, leading some of the action on this. Jamaica is much more sluggish, right? And I think maybe Jamaica's bilateral arrangement with the United States might be getting in the way. But
well, I cannot speak to that.
You cannot speak to that. Ambassador, I don't want to get you in any trouble before you leave, because we welcome you. We welcome you to Jamaica. But I can speak.
Barbados is doing well.
Yes, Barbados is doing well.
Bahamas is doing well. Yeah, Bahamas is doing well. A lot of their professors are working with us. Jamaica is also very proactive in these matters. I think that
is not true, Ambassador. You're only saying that because you're on the island of Jamaica. That is not true. We're here. We can tell you that is not true. Nothing of a sort. But let us see what happens. Yes.
Let's see what okay, so you are here.
Yes.
And what I know is also what I'm saying. They were at the conference in Ghana. They were there. Jamaica was there. The reparation conference. And Jamaica voted for reparation at the United Nations.
Right, but Jamaica was not part of the. Jamaica did not sign on to what Ghana was doing, and so Jamaica was not there with Ghana in terms of individually. Professor Vereen Shepherd, in her individual capacity, was there. But Jamaica neglected to be part of that, even though Jamaica has been leading the reparations process for such a long time. But Ambassador, that is because Jamaica has hijacked the reparations movement, and they have turned it into a tribal situation. But as I said before, I'm not going to get you into any trouble. I just want to say I understand the constraints that you're working with, and we want to hear what comes out of the meeting with the president when he comes in, and especially. I think there's so much, when you think about African trade, though, the African Continental Free Trade Area, that there's so much there to gain, right? Diasporic Africa and continental Africa, isn't there?
Yes, there is. In fact, luckily, the free trade area is hosted in Accra.
Yes.
And so we keep monitoring what they are doing. There's so much to do, even within us in West Africa.
Yes.
If we can trade more. Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and then between West Africa and East Africa, and then South. In Africa we are divided into five regions. The Southern African Group, the Eastern African Group, the Central African Group, the Western African Group, and then the Northern African Group. And there's so much trade between us and Europe and very little among us.
Between the sixth region, which is the African diaspora, which is the sixth region of them.
That is right. You are right.
As they go through a global reset, Ambassador, at Davos and the World Economic Forum, there is a new world economic order. The old order has ruptured and all of that. We heard from Mark Carney. So that we find ourselves as the five regions and the sixth plus the sixth, the African diaspora, on the outside. How important is it for us to have that paradigm shift, that global reset in our own minds in working with each other?
No, it's extremely important. Our problems are similar, and the solutions should be concentrated. We should agree on how to resolve our problems of education, our problems of health, our problems of trade, our problems of corruption. So the Caribbeans cannot be left outside what we are supposed to be doing in Africa, and the order has to change so that we take our destiny more into our own hands than listening to instructions from our metropolitan capitals. So we have to work with Caribbeans and all the experience that is in Africa and all the experience that is in Caribbeans. Our forces must be brought together. It's extremely important. It's extremely important.
So that I'm gonna wrap up with you. I'm sorry that we're joining you so late, but just to say welcome to Jamaica, Akwaba to President Mahama, Akwaba to the group that's coming in later on. This I understand, as you said, 15 in the delegation coming with the president. We're looking forward to the discussions and hearing what come out of them, and then I'll come see you in the embassy, the Ghanaian embassy in Kingston. In a few months' time.
I'd like to invite you. The president will be meeting the Ghanaian community Monday, tomorrow, in the hotel right here in Pegasus. And at about 5:30 p.m., we expect our comrades also here to join us, as many of them that can join us. So that he will talk to us about Ghana. It's also about reparation, about African Union. He will say a number of things to us. So you are invited.
And, thank you so much.
You are invited. When you come, just ask of us, and we'll admit you. It will be right here in the hotel where we are.
At the Pegasus. Thank you so much. I will be there. Thank you so much, Ambassador. His Excellency Kofi Ator. As usual,
that's right.
It's a pleasure having you on the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Join the National Cleanup and Volunteer Drive. Let's restore our communities one street, one home, one heart at a time. Sign up at supportjamaica.gov.jm. The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is...
Now, 8 minutes after 9 o'clock, you're inside of the Africa Forum. This is Running African. Thank you so much for joining us on the 107s, 107.1, all the way to 107.9. On the internet at IrieFM.net, on YouTube, Facebook, and IG, on Flow Channel 822, on DigiPlay. And am I leaving out anything, Peter? Right. My sister's in the house. And I'm very happy to welcome her. We're starting a little bit late with Dr. Marva Hewitt. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Dr. Marva Hewitt is an environmental health practitioner with a passion for food hygiene and safety management systems. She obtained her BSc Environmental Health, Masters in Food Quality and Safety from South Bank University in London. She has a Master of Arts in Education from Liverpool University. She is from my alma mater. There you go. Welcome, Liverpool. She's a postgraduate diploma in occupational safety and health and doctoral degree in Food Safety Management System, Atlantic International University in the United States. Dr. Hewitt has more than 33 years of industry experience in different capacity as environmental health practitioner, lecturer, senior consultant, lead auditor, and trainer. She joins us in studio. How are you doing, my sister? I'm good. Oh, I didn't turn on your mic. My bad. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Are you comfortable? Because your chair high.
It is high.
Yeah, you want a lower? You want a lower chair? We can get you a lower chair.
Possibly.
Yeah, Peter. Peter, you know. All right, so let's get a lower chair for Doc. Thank you so much, Marva, for coming here. I really appreciate it. You have been focused on food safety and food security for a long time.
Yes.
Many years of your life.
Yes.
And we've been talking about this. What are you noticing? Well, first of all, let us make that differentiation, that distinction between food safety and food security. And how important is it to make the distinction? Now, while we switch around your chair, go right ahead and make that switch. We're just taking her from the high seat and putting her a little bit lower. It means that all the cameras have to be adjusted and everything. You know, you're inside of the Africa Forum. And listen, we have been focusing on food safety and food security in this space for a very, very long time. And right now, happy to have with us somebody who's been focused on that. Our paths crossed, not necessarily because of this, but once we started talking, we recognized the extent to which we are on the very same path. And we will find each other, I know, as we go along. So we found each other now. And Marva's in the house, so that's
all right.
Right, so the distinction, how important is it to make this distinction between food safety and food security? Or is it any at all?
Very important, Kabu, because, you know, we talk about food safety, and I'll just briefly talk about that. It's one of the most important tenets of what we are about as consumers, first of all, and also as people. And I say that for a purpose because as a consumer, often we don't have a choice, right? Because we've got various limitations, and we lack of knowledge as well, right? And as a people, we go according to our circumstances, the situation we find ourselves in. The recent Melissa hurricane was one situation where everybody literally who were affected were in the same boat. They weren't able to choose. They just wanted something to eat. Whether it was safe or not, they didn't really care. And water was one of them, and water is food, all right? So on the board of food safety, I'd say that we have 3 hazards that we are concerned about as food practitioners. We have the chemical hazards, right, which is really trending here in Jamaica.
Yes.
You know, I went to Denby yesterday and I saw it all. I came out of there confused, right?
Really?
Because I'm really wondering what we're eating. And then we have
to come back to that.
Then we have the physical hazards, which persons can see and they recognize and they said, boy, this is spoiled, it's not good for me, I'm not going to buy it, right? And if it's been given away, they'll probably walk away from it, depending on how it look.
Yes.
Our vegetables are quite obvious in that way because show the spoilage, it show the worms on it and so forth. And then you have the microorganisms, the microbiological hazards, which are the hidden hazards. Again, a hidden hazard because we can't see it. We don't know it's spoiled. It doesn't always get spoiled before it's bad for us because the abuse and the handling, the safe storage of it, right? The knowledge of the people who's preparing these food is critical, right? To the safety of our food. And, you know, the definition is about, you know, the potential to cause harm.
Yes.
The potential.
The potential
to cause harm. It doesn't have to cause us harm. And harm comes different ways. You can eat something and you get harmed emotionally, right? Emotionally. There was a lady telling the story about how she ate a lizard And she didn't realize she ate the lizard until she came to the tail of the lizard. By then,
Don't tell me anymore about the lizard.
by then she had literally finished. Yes, she had finished.
Where was the lizard?
In the food. I'm not gonna tell you the food, right? Because I'm live on air. But it's a snack, and we buy it every day. So
I have to find my center.
Yes. So we have to. And it goes back to again, cost in the industry. They may see some broken mesh or whatever, and they think, oh, well, I can't afford to fix this till next year. The capex is just not there, etc.
And
right?
areas where you have rodents
areas where you
and so
have
on,
the pests and so forth, right? So, and these are emotional harm. They're not going to kill you because more likely the product is pasteurized, it's heat treated. There was a precedent case in the UK, right, where the lady drank a bottle of beverage. I won't say again the product, and it was her favorite drink, and she bought it. She buys this drink every lunchtime, and one day she bought it. She drank it. She felt some things going down, and when she looked at the napkin, it was some snails, some little snails, and she took it into the environmental health department and made a complaint. And over there we take things seriously, right? Because food is a big thing, yeah, and here it was that we said to her, we went and did an investigation, etc., and we said, no harm. And she said, yes, I will never drink this product again, so therefore I suffer harm. And so the court had ruled it as emotional harm. And so we have to be careful of that as well.
Yeah, of course, because look how emotional I got over the lizard.
There you go.
All right, let me take a quick break and come back.
Visit our brand new website, VoltLinkJA.com today and discover Jamaica's best electrical cables. VoltLink, wired to serve, built to last. The time by VoltLink is
16 after 9 o'clock.
Celebrate Independence Weekend from August 6th through 10th at your best weekend ever in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Escape to paradise to the premium destination experience for an incredible weekend of 7 fun-filled events featuring unforgettable moments and amazing vibes with the best events like Rise and Toast, Allure, I Love Soca Jamaica Cooler Festival, Daybreak, The Breakfast Party, Milk and Honey, Zimmy Sad Beach, and Late Checkout. Get ready for your best weekend ever. August 6th through 10th. 5 days in paradise in Ocho Rios. Weekend armbands available at yourbestweekendever.com. Sponsored by Don Julio, Smirnoff, Johnny Walker, Casamigos, Rum Stripe, and Jamaica Tourist Board. Must be 18 years and older. Think and drink responsibly. ID required.
Easy access, chilling and brunching on the Lord. Touch of Independence, August 6th, 2026. Performing live, DJ! Musical entertainment by DJ Banker and DJ Poppy. Team X, YM Entertainment. Powered by Soulville. At Shands Ground, Prairie Center. Admission $7,000 pre-sold. Food inclusive event. You must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly. Chilling and brunching on the lawn.
Jamaica, we're going island-wide. Live Wire, powered by Appleton Estate Jamaica, is bringing the hottest live music experience across the island. And our first stop is Plantation Smokehouse in St. Anne. Wednesday, August 5th, gates open 9 p.m. at the Fort Genemas. Itonia takes the Live Wire stage with an unforgettable live performance. General admission, $3,000. VIP cocktail inclusive, $4,500. Get your tickets now at eventbrite.com or Plantation Smokehouse. Follow Live Wire Jamaica for more updates. You must be 18 years or older to drink. Please drink responsibly.
This Sunday, August 2, the vibes are going all white as Retrology, the retro all-white party takes over Paris St. Anne, and guess who's bringing you all the action? Irie FM will be broadcasting live from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Get ready for a night of timeless classics, unforgettable vibes, and the ultimate retro experience.
Any 90s people in our place?
Dress in your best all-white, gather your crew, and come party with the station that keeps Jamaica rocking.
Irie FM really rocking, you know.
If you can't make it, don't worry. We're bringing the excitement straight to your radio. That's live links from Retrology, the all-white party, Sunday, August 2, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Shaz in Paris St. Anne.
Down the Shaz, we got a car full of girls and it going real slow. And Retrology, you know we gotta go.
Shuttlebus and PJ presents Lovers and Friends, Soul's R&B and Lovers Rock. August 5th, 2026 at Harbor City Mall, Montego Bay. Gates open 8 p.m. Music by Shuttlebus, DJ Bashment, and DJ Ray. Admission pre-sold. Ladies $2,000, male $3,000, couples $4,000, everyone $5,000 at the gate. Get your tickets now at Ultimate Male Fashion Store, Winter Village, Asani's Fashion, Hipstrip, 876 Beachwear, Weston Mabay, Pier 1, and the Fade Room, Fairview. Must be 18 years and older. Drink and live responsibly. Responsibly.
Bounce up family fun day, yeah. And football carnival, it's gonna be lit, yeah. Get something 10 a.m. It's Bounce Out Family Fun Day and Football Carnival. Prep and primary schools, high schools, regular ballers. Over $1 million in cash and prizes. 30 plus rides for the kids. Independence Day, August 6th. Jacksal Sports Complex, St. Anne. Music by DJ Smurf. Showtime 7 p.m. Performance by Deep Chai. Admission 1,500 pre-sold, 2.5 at the gate. Kids under 12 free. Ticket outlets, Great House Pharmacy, Ocho Total Gas Station, St. Anne's Bay. Eyeglass Factory, St. Anne's Bay. Ocho class.
All right, we're back with you inside of the Africa Forum. This is Running Africa, and good morning to you. I must say good morning to my sister of my heart and very good friend, Professor Vereen Shepherd, who is listening in, host of Talking History on Nationwide on Saturday mornings. Morning, Vereen, how you doing? Were you at Seville yesterday? I mean, Emancipation. Did you go to Seville? No.
Not this year.
We were at in Scotts Hall, in Maroontown Scotts Hall, and I'll talk about that later on. But as we talk about even rural communities and food safety, and I want you to come back to food security before we move on, right? Because I think it's very important to understand what food security is and where we are as a nation today in terms of what's happening globally, because you talk about what's happening in the UK, for example. You say we take food very seriously.
Yes, we do.
Obviously, you're making a comparison because you have experienced both, and you're seeing a difference in how we do things in Jamaica.
Yes.
All right. So talk about that. Yeah.
That is because I'm an environmental health officer, right? So I'm into enforcement.
Yes.
The structure is different, the policy is different, the rules are different, the regulations are different, and they're implemented, and they're expected, and the people who cater for the public are expected to follow those rules. And they are mandated in terms of, how the controls are enforced. For example, you're going to open up a business and you contact the authority and you don't have a commercial premises. We will ensure that you still have a separation facility between your home and that establishment. Whatever you're going to do, it has to be a separate building.
Yes.
Right? On your property, if you have the capability. Otherwise, the government will provide these catering kitchens, these facilities that you can hire when you need to. But the food must be safe. It must be prepared in that way. And we also ensure that the management systems, the HACCP, right, the best practices are developed. And you have to take responsibility for your own training and for providing that training evidence. It's very important. Now here, just a comparison. Here in Jamaica, consumers, first of all, we don't really ask where our food is coming from. A lot of us just queue up and we love the smell and we go and we buy it. And we consume it. We cater at events and we don't police the events. The agencies do not police the events. So we may have an event that is catering for 5,000 people. We know it's more than 5,000. And we have caterers that put their things forward. We don't then police it. It's not evidence because the wash hand basins are missing. The hand towels are missing. You see people wiping serving the food, but they're wiping the forehead and they're pouring a little bit of water from one little container onto the hands. That is not effective hand washing. And we know that most of the bacteria that we carry onto our food comes from us. It comes from people first because we have to control ourselves
including
first.
fecal.
Yes.
And that's the thing.
And the bathroom facilities and so forth is often far away. So
there's a lot to be and I'm going to invite you back, of course. This is our first interview because we're going to separate these two things and deal with them one by one.
Yes.
Food security. When we talk about food security, what are we talking about?
My goodness. Right. Well, the FAO says that all people, right? the FAO, the Food Administration Organization, they said that all people should have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food, right? That meets their dietary needs, right?
Safe and nutritious. And I think nutritious is
very important. It's key. It's key, right? Because 1 in 7 people in Jamaica are dying from diabetes and those food-associated lifestyle diseases, right? So we can't take our eyes off that, and education of the consumer is key. And I don't know who's educating the consumer, because unless they go into the work environment, they don't get any training.
Well, and one of the things you said before is the food that is coming in, the food we're consuming, how we access the food, we don't even check to see as a people generally where it's coming from, what is involved in it, and all of that. So that we are faced now with a global conversation about food security, and Jamaica finds itself at the center of that. What are the factors and the variables that impact food security?
Okay. So we have, first of all, we have some obstacles that we can't seem to get around because it's global, right? We have, we're in a climate change environment right now, right? Where the heat stress is so much on us, much less the animals, much less the vegetables and the crops, right? And we can see that they will not thrive, right? So we have an insecurity with our food from the climate change. And you know, we have been talking about this and preparing Jamaica from about 10, 12 years ago.
1995 in this space.
Okay.
From the minute they signed on to Codex.
Okay. So there we have. Right, and so my organization, Food Hygiene Bureau, we have been hosting these conferences in preparation because we're hoping that the public is going to have access to information from the conference, right? So because that's important, because unless you educate your consumer, in Jamaica, Kabu, our farmers, we don't have what they have, the first countries have. We have these little men who are in the farm preparing food and sowing food, and it's important that they're sowing the right food, the right seeds, the right planters.
But right? what about our
the other obstacle?
Our indigenous knowledge of how we do things and our own special way of knowing, which is indigenous knowledge.
All right,
as opposed to their knowledge.
All right, so in my days then, right, because I'm from the 50s, 58. In my days, we grew up on a farm, and we did not use all these chemicals in our food. We used to, my grandfather, God rest his soul, used to rely on the manure. They used to rely on the waste from the food itself, right? You know, the peels from the food itself.
Yeah, they'd say mulch.
Composting the mulch, right?
Yes.
Right? And him used to get him hoe and him thing and him doing stuff, and we never starve, and we never used to worry about whether the food was wholesome or not, because
or whether the land
would yield, right?
What is happening to our land, Marva, Dr. Marva Hewitt? What is happening to our land? Because we have, I know that we have a situation with Roundup, and that is a crazy madness in terms of the land being able to yield a first and a second and a third and a fourth crop, which is how we grew up. That we have lost.
We have, because they've taken on different practices, different ways. I went down to the country, and this is Manchester, a few weeks ago, and my cousin does farming, and he says, I have to burn the land because they say I must burn the land. So, the burning of the land, and we see it all over as well. They have to burn the land. They clear the land.
Why are they burning
burn
the land? Because we don't know about burning land. We have day for day, and you come in and everybody.
Well, I am not into. I'm not agri.
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
So, but he was saying to me that burning the land helped the land to. It helps him. Well, it doesn't help him, but it helped the land in some way to yield better.
A second crop. I wonder if it's connected to, because we know that we're using chemicals on the land that is creating havoc in Jamaica, where, I went to, as I said, I was in Scotsall yesterday, and I saw limes. And to the sisters in Scotsall who had the limes, thank you so much, because we had... I literally take shame out of my own eye and beg a bag of lime, because I see this lady with our limes, and I say, beg your bag. Because I haven't seen limes
Very
in Jamaica
expensive.
in forever.
I saw it at Denby yesterday, and 6 limes were $750. And I had to pay for it because I really wanted the limes.
How much did you say?
$750
For how many?
6 limes.
Wow.
And they had the bigger limes, which were 3 for the same $750. So I bought the smaller limes, the one that I'm used to.
And remember, we used to have a lime tree on every corner.
They're all gone.
The oranges
They're all
are
gone.
gone. So all the citrus is
All
gone.
the citruses are gone. The oranges are gone. I bought 6 yesterday for $1,500. Who can afford it?
The
6 oranges.
The grapefruits are gone too.
The grapefruits are gone. I bought 3
And the shadow.
yesterday. I bought 3 yesterday. Everything is gone. It's going very fast.
So they're going the same way that the coconut went.
Yes.
And
Because
this
there's
is
a
why
lot going on.
So
This
when you say there's a lot going
There's
on,
a lot
what
going
do you
on.
mean? Hang on. We're going to come back to that. Let me just take a quick break. Sorry.
This time signal is brought to you by Sandals Resorts, tourism that cares. The time by Sandals Resorts is
now 9:30.
For 50 years, the NHT has been committed to helping Jamaicans become homeowners.
I've been at the NHT for 20 years and had the privilege of working at handing over ceremonies. Just seeing the joy of people getting those keys.
That's the kind of joy I'm looking forward to seeing more of.
As the NHT continues to put keys in the hands of more Jamaicans.
The National Housing Trust, 50 years of building communities and housing generations.
Totally Delicious presents Under the Stars, Jokes and Jammings on August 7th at Totally Delicious Ice Cream Car, Lot 44, Grove Farm, Old Harbor. Laugh out loud and sing along with Major Hype, Christopher Martin, Len Hammond, Eric Donaldson, Fancy Cat, and Kathy Grant. Gates open at 7 p.m., showtime 8 p.m. Tickets available at select Fesco gas stations and at totallydeliciousjamaica.com. That's August 7th, Under the Stars, Jokes and Jammings.
New York link up, London link up in association with Sizzla Youth Foundation. Proudly present Summer Bikini, all white bus trip beach party, all day, all night. Long Bay Beach, the grill, August 6. Featuring Sizzla Kalanji, Junior Cat, Singer J, G and Shakira. Admission 2,000. Music back in the Farrell, Lizard Type Mara. Flames Million, DJ Kira was the back on me. August 6, Long Bay Beach, the grill, Summer Bikini.
Come on, cowboys and cowgirls, let's do this. On Saturday, August 8th, Daybreak transforms Plantation Cove St. Anne into a Western soiree at your best weekend ever. This Independence Weekend, buckaroos. Yeah! Get dressed for the rodeo at this premium breakfast and brunch inclusive event. Admission $13,500 pre-sold. And partner, you can get your best weekend ever armbands at yourbestweekendever.com. Sponsored by Don Julio, Smirnoff, Johnny Walker, Rum Strike, Casamigos, and Jamaica Tourist Board. Must be 18 years or older. Drink and live responsibly. ID required.
Master, I have returned. Come, my child. What is that you hold in your hand? It's a radio. A radio? What is such a thing? Grandmaster, tell us. What is that?
请锁定Irie 电台。
We must take this to the village at once. Everybody need to hear such power.
This is your reggae Dr. Orbin. Irie FM, run China, and there's a word. Keep it locked to Irie FM.
Irie FM.
All right, we're back with you inside of the Africa Forum. This is Running Africa, 9:33. Dr. Marva Hewitt, environmental health practitioner, and we're talking about food safety and food security, focusing on food security. This is our first interview. She'll be back when we separate these two things and begin to look at them seriously in terms of what's happening here on the island. So, Marva, in terms of what is So we're dealing with an issue, obviously, as you said, of food security, not to mention food safety, but definitely food security on the island. Where do we go then? I mean, how do we begin to solve the problem of food security? I'm jumping there because of the time.
Yeah. But I want to say something because we're trying to solve a problem which is scarcity in a supply of food, right, for our people. And we're actually straying away from our traditional practices. And as a result of that, we're losing most of our crops, right? And so that is the scariest part, because we want to hold on to our indigenous food, which is excellent for our bodies and our blood, right? Because we're different people.
Right, of course.
We're different people.
We talk about melanin.
Right. So in doing that, though, in trying to solve the problem of insecure food supply, which is being impacted from global, right?
Yes.
We're actually not striking the balance that we should, because we're actually creating not food that is nutritious for us. And remember, the first definition was about having this safe and nutritious supply of food.
Yeah. Because we learned in like
so
grade,
the chemicals,
grade 3, food is any solid or liquid which, when eaten, nourishes the body, enabling it to function properly, including
correct.
Water, as you said.
Very important.
Including water.
Yes.
So what does the lack of water, and I'm going to come back to chemicals, what does the lack of water say? Because right now, as we speak, there are water lockouts in Kingston.
Oh, my gosh.
There no water in the pipe in places in St. Mary.
Negril.
All across Jamaica.
Yeah. So what is that saying? That is saying that we're really losing our resources, because we have enough water, but it's diverted in certain areas.
That's true.
And that's the problem that we're having. And we need intervention. We need government intervention. We need policy changes. We need to look at our building laws. We need to look at our land policies. Those things become important because, yes, we need places to live, but we have to resource. The resources have got to be there. The infrastructure has got to be there, right? And water is a commodity that we cannot do without. We can probably do without food, but certainly not water.
Right. And for both food safety and food security, water is a common
and
denominator.
It has to be safe. It has to be safe.
Yeah.
You know, Kabu, just telling you this, in our communities, right? And if we could go back to rural, because you mentioned rural.
Yes.
Most of our rural communities in our parishes have a water supply.
Yes.
They have a spring that creates their water and it goes to the river. Because it's all connected.
That is true.
It's all connected.
Yes.
The ecosystems are connected.
And all we know the water
we
head
know,
there.
We know
the river head.
We know where it is. So in my parish then, in my little town where I come out of, we have a spring there, and that was a spring that saved us when COVID came, because there was no water truck.
Right.
There's no main water, there's no water truck, and it's just the spring that the people had to use, right? So if we are destroying our springs and we're capping off the things, them and whatever, and diverting, what are we going to do?
Right, and diverting, I think this is critical. So you talk about cleaning the spring is one thing, because I heard Kamala Bisesa, the Prime Minister of Trinidad, she made an interesting point, right? Because there's a lot of discussion, because Trinidad is building an AI data center. People begin to talk about how much water it's going to take, but she's hit back at them to say, now you're talking about water, but you don't clean the drains, you don't clean the rivers, you don't clean the spring, you throw all kind of stuff in it, and then you're having water problems anyway because of your own treatment of the environment. I think it is so unfair what she said, really. But this is a pushback that you're getting. So how important and critical it is, even as we talk about holding government responsible not to sell off freshwater sources for us to take care of freshwater sources.
Yes, because we have to ring fence certain things. Yes, we want to develop. We want to develop our nation. We don't want it as it used to be, but certainly the resources are scarce. The natural resources are scarce. So when we're selling off, we have to remember that our people the nation need water. And it's not something that you can desalinate and stuff. I was at a forum down in place there, and they were saying about how expensive desalination was, and it cannot be used, as general. right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they do that in Qatar.
But we're not Qatar. We're the land of food and water, for God's sake.
For God's sake.
Yes, we're the land of food and water, and it breaks my heart to have to see these things happening in Jamaica, because we're supposed to be protecting our resources. We must protect those.
How critical, because you've been in this business for a long time, you host forums, you organize conferences and so on around
and
food
training.
security and train also.
Yeah.
What is the state of Jamaica's food security?
Okay, so we're juggling, aren't we? We're juggling. First of all, we're not meeting the nutritious mark because we're putting in a lot of stuff into it, right? And at the same time, we're changing the dynamics of what we're eating and call food.
Yes,
and that is having its impact on the health
of the nation.
And a burden,
concern.
and then a burden onto the health system that we really is so much lacking in, right? The effectiveness of those systems, right? So what is the state of it? I think everybody can see it, right? It's bits and pieces. It's all broken up.
Yes.
I don't think we have met food security. I think we're into food insecurity.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And even as we talk about food sovereignty, what I'm saying is that we need to make some major changes. Right?
And what do you see some of those changes being and looking like?
Well, it starts with identifying what our needs are as a people. What are the needs of our people? What are the foods that we must have, right? Where is it gonna come from if it's not from our own soil?
Because I thought that we must have. This is what I thought, that we must have citrus.
We have to have citrus.
Until we don't have no citrus.
Listen, when COVID hit us, that was what a lot of our people depended on, right? We were able to call for the orange and the lemon and the lime and the grapefruit and all those things. And a lot of people, COVID cannot afford to fill even their prescriptions. We have to remember, and the grapefruit is what is very good for them, right? In terms of their hypertension, their diabetes, and so forth. So, from and the cholesterol level, they'll say do not eat the grapefruit because it counteracts the medicine, right? So we have to have sense and know, say, we must start planting and get our hands back into the soil. Keep our seeds, because we are losing the seeds. The seedless fruits are coming. Seedless food is coming. Seedless everything coming.
Can I say to you that we've already lost the seeds?
Well, we have. I met a man yesterday and he was saying, but I have my car in here. And I said, I want you at the conference, right? I want you to come and talk about the input. He was a Rastafarian. I said, I need you at the conference, and you need to bring 2 people that you have in the soil, reaping and sowing the things then, because even the corn that we're eating is not real corn.
No.
So, that's another story.
Yeah, we're not
right? That's another story.
Yet.
So it's really, and they have the chemicals to support those type of foods here.
Yes.
So therefore the foods are here.
So obviously there is a crisis, and there's another crisis coming because of what is being determined and decided at the Codex Alimentarius. That whatever decisions, and the decisions are being made already.
They are.
And how that's going to impact our ability to grow our own food and to grow seeds. I think that is also something that's critical that's coming up. Your conference, I want to talk about the conference just because we're running out of time, and to invite you to come back.
It goes so quick, don't
I
it?
know.
I thought I have a whole heap of time this morning.
Well, let's talk about the conference, the upcoming conference, tell our listeners about it, where it's going to be, and how they can participate.
Okay, so this year's conference is on food security. For those of you who don't know enough about it, we have over 20 speakers, 10 each day, and we have panels and everything. And the second element to food security is food sovereignty. We're going to look at how Jamaica can actually move and develop food security ourselves and then move on to sovereignty. What are some of the things we want to do differently? So we have a panel, a team that is going to be launched. This food sovereignty team will be launched to work, alongside to ensure that we support the rural areas, because it is the rural areas that need the help. Conference is going to be at Sandals Duns River on the 9th and 10th of September, and over 2 days, right?
Sandals Duns River.
Yes, it's just up the road near the Rio. Near the Rio.
Oh, okay. It's further back in Miami Bay.
It's a brand new conference center. They've just opened up, which is really a blessing to us.
Right.
Yes.
So Sandals Duns River.
Yeah, 9th and 10th of September.
9th and 10th of September. The International Food Security Conference that's happening here on the ground in Jamaica.
Yes, it's a hybrid event, so it's live stream as well, right? So persons can register to attend online as well as attend in person.
Give us the dates again.
9th to the 10th of September.
All right, and September is just around the road.
It's just 5 weeks away. It's 5 weeks away, right? And it's really focusing on how we're going to build our food systems.
Can you tell us about some of the speakers, some of the persons who will be presenting?
Sure.
And
right, so we have our the Minister of Agriculture, bless him. He never miss. Yes, he never misses it. Right,
brilliant.
And I'm hoping and he's also going to be cutting the ribbon for the food sovereignty, which is really nice, right? We have the Minister of Tourism on day 2, and Minister Green is on day 1. We do have, oh my goodness.
So it's a very high, as you said, hybrid.
It's very hybrid because high profile because we have speakers from the US, right? We have Professor Srini. We have Dr. Leah Allen, who will be talking about food nutrition, right? She's a specialist in that.
Yes.
And she believes in the natural food systems. We have Roy McNeil, Dr. Roy McNeil from Food Storage, right? We have Jakra, who will be there, looking at the policies and how we can strengthen agriculture, the value chain in particular, because, it's about our pimento and our spices.
Of course,
right? Which have to be protected, by the way.
And our nutmeg.
Right, and our nutmeg.
Goodness, our nutmeg still, not touch with nutmeg.
My goodness. You behave yourself, come on.
Yeah, she on the nutmeg.
Right.
Because goodness
So
gracious.
we have a lot of them. We have Vivian Scully, who right, is Agro Invest, and that should be interesting.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
All right. So we have Ministry of Industry and Commerce strengthening local production. Yeah. We're talking about innovative urban farming. Dr. Rajendra, Reddy from the US again. He's from India, but US.
I recognize the name,
Right. Yeah. We have Dr. Biswas. He's going to talk about how to make urban farming profitable, right? So the garden farming, him talking about, going to show us some ways how we can maximize our little piece of land at the back of, so we don't have to depend on the supermarket. We can have our food in our community and have our food bank there, right?
Yes.
And Guyana are talking about Dr. Donna Morrison. Now Guyana have achieved food sovereignty. Right? We want to hear from her some of the tips for our country.
Okay.
Right? And she's from the University of Gulf, etc. So we have a range
Is
of
there anyone
speakers.
there presenting on Codex? I really would like to hear, on what's happening at Codex. Maybe the Minister probably can address it. I don't know.
Yes. I don't think we do, but I mean, that's food for thought.
Right.
We do have persons on the
Well, you
gastronomy
can ask me if
program,
I can talk on Codex.
Oh, that's good.
I can.
Yes.
But you probably. I've been disinvited. I've been disinvited. No, but honestly, I think
we do need policy. There's somebody talking about policy, though.
Yeah, but we want to talk about how Codex impact food sovereignty. Because how do we talk about food sovereignty or food security?
The lady from Guyana is covering that because she,
all right.
Yeah, she is.
I'll definitely be there, Marva, Dr. Marva Hewitt. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Right.
It's September 9 and 10, and it is at
Sandals.
And is it open to anyone, or you have to register?
As long as you have to register.
Oh, you have to register.
Of course.
But if I'm not registered yet, how do I register?
We need to register. Go onto our website at www.foodhygienebureau.org. There's a lot of information on the conference.
And the media has to register too?
Well, yes.
Not me, I talk like newsrooms and so on.
Well, there's an invitation to you, so no, but we need to know who's coming.
Right, okay.
And that's the thing. We have to have control.
I'd love to see the news covering this, newsrooms across Jamaica. Marva, thank you so much. And I invite you back, obviously, hopefully before the conference.
Okay.
And then...
Yes.
So 9th and 10th are which days?
I think it's Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay, Wednesday and Thursday.
Persons coming in can enjoy the weekend at Sandals. That was the idea.
Look at that. A good thing the sandals. Look here, Peter. It's a good thing sandals about add in my program, or else Marva would have to pay for that.
That's right. Okay.
Well,
thanks.
thank you, Sandals, for advertising the Africa Forum. And September 9-10, Sandals Duns River,
Yes.
the International Food Security and Food Sovereignty Conference is happening there. You're invited. But go register. How do we do that again? Website?
www.foodhygienebureau.org. Or you can call us.
Foodhygienebureau.org.
Yes. Or you can call us on 876-279-4265.
876
279-4265.
279-4265.
And there's another number on the website. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Marva, thank you so much, my sister.
You're welcome.
I know you have to go to church,
Really
so I'm giving you a chance to go early.
Get service,
yes.
get
All right.
service.
Thank you so much. And we'll see you again before.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
Before the conference. Dr. Marva Hewitt, environmental health practitioner. And as we said before, she's been in this business for a very, very long time and has been holding these conferences also for ages and ages. And the next one, of course, on September 9 and 10 at Sandals. So we're asking you to come on and be part of that. But remember, you can't just turn up a Sandals gate. Make sure you register, right, Peter? I'm going to come with Peter. Peter, you're covered for Irie, so I'm coming with you. You drive too, remember. All right, thank you, Marva. All right, Peter, yesterday we were at, as in the last 10 minutes of the program, we were in Scott's Hall. You know, it's interesting because my maternal grandfather is really from that area, Scott's Hall, Leinster, Richmond, all of that area there. And obviously, as I said in my speech yesterday, they identify as Culture Maroons and so on and so forth. And it was really a good day in Scott's Hall, 2 days of events. So I sent you some pics. I know you probably don't even see them. I sent them in the middle of the program. Did we, by the way, come up with a topic for the program? Okay. The promise, Peter, choose the topic. The promise of emancipation is not realized. All right. Thank you, Peter. All right. So, so let me just give you a glance of what happened. Also, to say thank you to Acting Colonel Marva too. Interesting. And to, no, not Marva, Joan, Acting Colonel Joan Williams, and to Jackie Phillips, the secretary, to the entire team. We saw Richard Curry, Chief Richard Curry was there, Chief Douglas from the Charlestown Maroons, Chief Richard Curry, of course, from Accompong. And I didn't see Colonel Sterling, but I know there was a representative from Moortown there also. The Maroon community, Mama G and the team from Charlestown were in the house. I don't know if somebody was there from Flagstaff. You can let me know. But to the people of Scott's Hall, thank you so much for hosting us. Thank you so much for having us. And thank you so much for allowing us to use your stage yesterday to talk about what is important to us. Thank you for the space for that. All right, so we have some sights and scenes from there. Let me go to those, if Peter will take us there. In the last 5 minutes or so of the program, the theme looked at coming from the mountains to where we are now, actually. And it's something that I thought was really a good topic. Good morning to you, Dr. Devon Taylor. How are you doing, sir? Dr. Taylor talking about food security and sovereignty, and he says, we can't have food security and sovereignty without access to wild food in the sea. Fishing and seaweed harvesting are important. And he goes on to talk about access to fishing beaches and so on. And for those who are watching online, you're seeing, oh, Peter, you see me up there? You know, I mean, everything nowadays, you know, but just like when, okay, so these are some of the pics you're seeing from the sights and the sounds from yesterday. Oh, Isis, you know, Isis, you know, I'm thinking about you a lot because I know that our sister station, I'm saying our sister station because we're all sisters and brother stations, our colleagues in the media. And we know Roots FM is closing its door to our colleagues at Roots. Whole strain, you're all professional, you're hardworking people. And I know that you can make it either in the spaces that are already available or creating your own spaces. This is what we're going to have to do now as presenters and journalists. So inner city, while you look at the pictures on the screen if you're online, inner city Roots Rockers reggae dub session, recalling Edward Blyden, the African personality, and this is tomorrow at Nation Lounge, featuring Andrew Tosh, One Dash, Harmonique, Macon, is it Macon? Macon N? Look here, no. So they're going to be talking about, so they have Edward Blyden's book, Christianity and Islam and the Negro Race. Edward Blyden, that is on the poster. It's 7 p.m. to midnight, and it's at Nation Lounge. Admission is Love and Light, Forward and Full Joy, Reasoning by Dr. Sylvia Blyden, and this looks good. Very, very good. iNation, as usual. And the team from Nation Lounge doing an excellent job. So there we are. Yesterday was brilliant, and we really had a good time. And the drive to Scottsall, really okay, the road not so bad, because you go, if you reach Castleton Gardens, then, goodness gracious me. So the road not so bad, as I said before, but all those rivers, the massive rivers in Castleton Garden, Big A, the massive, Castleton, right? That massive river that just run along the whole of Junction there. So that big river we normally say people are wash. That river dry, That river is dry, Brigade. Or the water that is in there is a little bit of water, green. Green. I mean, we have to go look at the head of the rivers. Because they're telling us climate change, but what is happening at the head of the rivers? I think this is where we have to go see what the construction that is happening and how they're moving. And this is one of the things I talked about at the Maroon community, Quao, it's celebration of Quao, Captain Quao yesterday at Emancipation Day, that we have access to the head of the rivers, and we have to take care of those spaces. We have a fight for them too, and resist the takeover and control of the rivers. 4 minutes going up to 10 o'clock. Big A, anything on your mind? Because I can give you my 4 minutes into that take 4 minutes from you, Because you don't know it already. I can take the 4 or I can give you the 4. Did you go to Seville? No. Did you? I told you I was in Scott's Hall. I've never been to Scott's Hall before, and this first I've not gone. Look here. Anyway, I'm not going to say it anymore. But anyway, so, right. So I wasn't at Seville. So where did you go this entire... You never gone away? Oh, you've not gone away? Peter, where did you go? Well, Peter was late this morning, for the first time since we've been doing this. Where you go, Peter? Where have you been this entire weekend? Nowhere either? Is it rains that caused you late this morning? Yeah. So we had a lot of rain this morning, as you know, and thunder and lightning, and we're still trying to figure out why the lights went off on June 18. So, Big A, quickly, you see, you're following FIFA, right?
I know of the situation broadly, but I can't tell you of the latest development. I know there's an issue with Infantino wanting to privatize FIFA and the footballing bodies around the world, CONCACAF and UEFA and the rest of it. UEFA especially is very strongly against it. Right, but I still.
Oh, he's pulled back already. He's scrapped the whole thing according to him.
Oh, he has.
Right, but I don't think it has changed anything in terms of people calling for him to resign. Either resign, because the elections are next year, and so people want him stepped down before that. But he's pulled back on it, on the whole thing already. But the thing that interests me, and I think we need to spend some time looking at it, even though he has pulled back, is to look and see where, even though CONCACAF come out and say what I'm saying, there were individual people who have Jamaican, who made statements regarding it before. And we need to go look back on them statements, why they make it. Because there's a lot of information coming out. And I know there's one thing, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything. We know Morocco is all over it, Africa was for it, Asia is for it, and so on. But the BBC is reporting that a lot of it looks like bribery. But this is what FIFA does, right? FIFA don't always bribe people. Well, yes, FIFA bribe people.
No, FIFA has always been embroiled in that kind of
Sepp Blatter. That blatter, what do you call that? Blatterism. Blatterism.
FIFA has always been embroiled in that.
Yeah.
I don't.
All right, so we're paying attention. It's a Wagonist thing, but it's not quite Wagonist. This part of it is not quite Wagonist. I think it is all part of the bigger geopolitics because it's public-private partnership. So, and it is what it is. J.P. Morgan, Josh Kushner, Donald Trump, the company that they're buying into, that they're talking about. The Trump family own the company there. So this is where it all meets up. What a thing. All right, this is always saying goodbye. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being part of the program. Thank you for your texts, for your messages. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Antoinette. Thank you. Who's there, Peter? Who's at the desk? Thank you, Big A, for this time for me to say thanks to who is at the desk. Chauvenet. Thank you, Chauvenet. And thank you to the team. Thank you for listening, as usual, and to my very special guests this morning. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, inshallah, inside of the Africa Forum. Take care, walk good, and tell them other one howdy. All right, Big A, you ready? You want me to play the song or take the time signal and go to gospel?